Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Whose Online Is It Anyway, where everything is made up and the facts don't matter. I'm Toxic Male. Sitting across from me at the bar with his butthole itching is Terrence Popp.
What's up, you nasty Nellies? Hey, look, having monkey butt is not a crime.
No, but it is uncomfortable.
Yes, it is.
Would you like to introduce your buddy?
Actually, I have a guest tonight. He was one of my soldiers for a good almost 6 years.
Longer.
Longer, okay. Which was Company F425 Airborne Infantry Long Range Reconnaissance. And and his nickname, or his operational name, was Contusion, because he always came in bruised up, because he worked in corrections and liked to fight people. Who knew?
I can't imagine why you'd have anything in common with him.
No, not at all. We couldn't find any segue between us.
No, absolutely not. No, except I climbed in a ring and beat people up. And you did it for work.
Oh my! Yeah, well, that's another story for another time.
Yes. Now we're old and slow.
Old and slow.
And,
Yes.
and we have bionic parts.
I'm partially Borg.
Yeah, you're a cyborg. Yeah.
Yes, I got a bionic hip and I got a bionic back.
Yeah.
Resistance is futile.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta. Hey, look. When you get to the age of 50, and you were on airborne status for any length of time, having blown out knees, hips, and backs is actually fairly common.
Yes.
I mean, my back and neck are jacked. So, and I got a trick knee, and I mean, the list goes on and on. But that's just the way it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the human race, right?
So let me ask you.
All right.
So we've been friends since when? 95.
Yeah, about that time.
95.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, I am still friends or on good terms with virtually everybody that ever served underneath me.
Yes.
Is that a rarity?
I would say the least, yes, because your leadership style was fairly more unique than the rest. Why majority of the senior NCOs insisted on being so high strung and pushing their soldiers away and letting everybody, letting the subordinates just deal with the daily fodder? You were like, put your big boy pants on and deal with it.
If I had to get involved, I literally would.
Yeah.
It was 100% or nothing.
But the whole thing is in the Army is that some leaders, some NCOs or even officers didn't teach their privates, E1, E2, all the way to E4, any sense of self-reliance within the core of the military, because structurally, when you're enlisted, as far as from my perspective, you're robotic. You will do this, you will do that, you will do this. But within the 425, the dynamic was a complete opposite, because you allowed us to make mistakes, and then it was usually, what'd you learn?
What did we learn here?
Yes.
What did you learn?
You do it again, that's on you. I mean, essentially, that's the way it was, but you really didn't steer anybody wrong, okay? But you knew, and I know it was your spider senses, when somebody was going in the wrong direction, you absolutely just put the wall in front of them and let them crash early, head on, and say, you're going in the wrong direction, right? I mean, metaphorically, it was a lifesaver for us, because it was your way of counseling people, because essentially, if it wasn't something that you've already experienced for yourself, you would apply that wisdom to us, but in the sense where you're going to feel pain. Nobody is immune from pain. And
I mean, in all the time you've known me, how many times do you see me actually put pen to paper to actually write somebody up for some bullshit?
Never. I saw you beat the shit out of one guy, though, and for late for formation.
Oh, yeah. I remember that one.
It was Hennings, and he blew you off.
There was Hennings, and then I fought them all. But
yes.
You were there when I fought the entire platoon a couple times.
Yes, but you broke Hennings' ribs. But at this time, he was like a third degree in fifth degree in what martial art?
I don't even remember.
Okay, so he took the time and discipline to learn, a particular style to fight. You were just a ring brawler.
Well, it's a kickboxer.
Well, yeah. Okay. Kirk, street fighter.
Yeah. And he sparred with me to get ready for several Tough Man. Yeah. I fought him in his whole motorcycle crew.
Yes.
They came to the gym.
Yes.
That was an interesting day.
Yeah. So, okay. So essentially, we all felt your wrath at one point.
But I wasn't malicious about it.
No.
Okay.
It was like you were insidious or reckless. It was all a learning lesson. It was. And I remember seeing the looks on some of the younger privates when they would come into the 425. There's your platoon sergeant. And as they would see you, your hat's kicked back, your hands are in your pockets. And they're like, is he allowed to do that? Yeah, we all do it. What's up?
Yeah.
What? You're in the 425. All right. Nobody's really going to bust your chops.
You do your job.
You do your
Standard.
job, mission first, and then we all get to play later on. But he'll let you know when. He'll give you your toys back after you're done with your chores. So essentially, a lot of the younger soldiers that I remember seeing growing up were just amazed. But if they went regular Army thinking that the dynamic was the same, I says, you're in for a rude awakening.
Yeah.
You're never going to find it. You're never going to find something like this ever in the Army.
Yeah, it was very unique. I'll give you that. So,
Oh, it was very unique. So it,
so Walter 425, how many jumps did you have?
oh my gosh. Well, when I came off active duty, before I went to the 425, I had 32 on record.
Okay.
And I don't know who was in charge of keeping
The jump log.
the jump log, but it stayed at 32. It was like the magic number.
See, I maintained my own jump log, and I quit counting at 100 because I pretty much realized that I was not motivated enough to want to go to jump master school.
Well, you went to jump master school, but somebody messed up the paperwork, right?
Twice.
You got to the front door, and they turned you away.
They did. They turned me away because they didn't update the jump log for the high performance jumps you're supposed to have within 6 months of going to the school.
Yeah.
And, what are you going to do? But, it's not a big deal. I mean, I wasn't really motivated because I know exactly what the, paratroop drops lead to because I did it for real.
Yes.
And I was in no hurry to do another combat drop as a jump master this time. It was hard enough being just a crunchy.
Well, do you remember the jump into Puerto Rico?
Oh.
Into Borinquen?
Are you kidding me? That's where I got busted. I had to strip down to nothing. And there was nobody there. I'm wearing all of this snivel because we left from.
Oh, yeah.
It was
From 30-degree weather
to 90.
8 to 90-degree weather with humidity and gentle ocean breezes.
Yeah. So I land. I almost land in a junkyard.
We did land in a junkyard.
No, I slipped and I missed because I didn't want to deal with the junkyard dogs.
No, I remember Pete hit a car.
Yeah.
I fell into a ditch. Okay. And I got my
good fun right there.
And I got my chute tangled into a briar. So when silk and an uncountable amount of paracord gets tangled into a briar, forget it. Recover in that chute, you're done. Then
you can't leave it there.
Yeah, no.
You got to rip it out of there and take it back.
I took the bush and put it in the bag with the chute and took it to
that's
the
the best way to do it.
Yes. Yeah.
Let the riggers worry about it. Fuck them.
Yes, let the riggers deal with it. So, and then Bruce landed inside of a van. He crashed through the rusted roof of a van because I remember hearing it and hearing.
I remember he got stitches and a tetanus shot out of that.
Yes, and he got poison ivy.
Oh, we all got poison ivy. Yeah. I had poison ivy.
Yeah, we all.
That sucked. I fired our medic because of that. Because I remember, I'm like, hey, I need some calamine motion or something. I'm exposed to.
And here was the interesting thing about this whole little training event we did in Puerto Rico, Blake. We start hearing artillery fire, and we are caught in mid-range of an actual live fire artillery
Impact area.
It
was now to be fair, it was like 400 meters away, but 155 rounds. When they're that close, it sounds like it's on top of you. And I remember we all sprained our anuses running away.
Yes. So the whole operation there was fairly. I mean, okay, we went to Puerto Rico. It was largely subpar, but
it was. Listen, man, it was still fun as shit.
But you know what? That is where we came up with our distress code, Lima for Quebec.
Oh yeah,
because you told me to get on the net to try to find a location for pickup. and I didn't want to use. I thought we were in the Matrix with Puerto Rico and their comms. And I got a hold of their range control.
I know. We opened the range control phone box. We called range control.
Range control.
Like, hey, where are we at?
Where are we at? Well, who's calling? This is Lima 4, Quebec. Actual.
And actual means it's the guy in charge. And they're like, all right, actual. What is the number on the tower? Like, and they gave us a 8-digit grid right to where the tower was. We're like, oh, thank you.
Yes. And it's like,
That's
and when
good
they said, you're the actual, so I cupped the phone like this, and I'm like, they want to talk to you, Popp. It's like, no, you're doing good. Just keep them on line.
And just to clarify for the trap, they did say riggers. You racist bastards.
Yeah, the guys who rigged the parachutes.
Yeah, riggers.
Yeah, because I was in the 425 from 95 to 2005.
Yeah, because I remember when Pete brought you on board because after the SF unit got deactivated.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I remember they're like, well, you're going to have to go to S&T. And Sergeant Campos is like, oh, that's right. We're going to send a triple tab guy to S&T because he's not qualified. Shut up!
I remember because Sergeant Coyle, I remember he looks at you and he's like, E6 triple tabber?
Yeah.
Your first platoon. His first day, your first platoon.
Yeah, Coyle was great.
Coyle was the epitome of what a platoon sergeant was at that time. Because he would literally just, he wouldn't necessarily be very disrespectful to his chain of command. But he would just literally say,
No fucks given?
No fucks given, and that was stupid. I remember hearing him tell, it was a command brief, and I had to, I was just an E4 at the time, and I'm taking Coyle, here's some paperwork, and he literally was just like looking at me to set it down there, and they're talking about something, and that's when we had that really messed up first sergeant. I can't remember him. He'd wear the pleathered coats. And
Yeah.
Well,
He didn't
anyway,
last long.
The first sergeant, he was like totally like just leg land indoctrinated.
No, he was before Surmaz, wasn't he?
Yes, he was before Surmaz. Well, anyways, Coyle had no problem telling him, that is stupid. and the room would go dead silent, and I'm a fly on the wall, and suddenly everyone just begins to look at me, and I just haul ass. I mean, just like, what's the point? So, Coyle did put up with a lot of BS, okay? I did that.
Yeah, mainly for me, I drove that dude crazy.
Yeah, and he hated us.
No, he didn't hate us. Hate.
In the love-hate spectrum.
It was a love-hate spectrum, yeah.
Yes, it was a love-hate. 1 minute he loves you for having an excellent brief back and being mission ready. It's like, okay, you got these guys whipped into shape. PT scores are good. Rumor's a fat ass still, and you got to motivate them. And
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was Coyle, and that was usually how he would talk to majority of his team leads because he didn't want to overburden the team leads with a lot of unnecessary fluff. That wasn't
Not necessary. You don't do that.
Yeah.
I remember we burned down the drop zone, and we're waiting for the truck, and he pulls up, and the first thing he says, I hate you guys. Get in the truck.
Get in the truck.
And they're like, did you guys burn down the drop zone?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Absolutely not.
What? It's on fire?
Yeah, and Walker did it, that bastard.
We have a guy in our team.
No, he actually watches the show. Pat Wax Daddy is his screen name.
Okay, all right.
Or Goat Belly, we call
Goat
it.
belly.
Hey, Goat, what's
Goat
up?
Belly!
All right. So how he got Goat Belly, he could eat anything. And he had a bulge of a gut. For PT tests back then, you had to do a tape test. All right. Goat would just blow his out of proportion.
Yeah, we
And
have
it's
to
like,
get creative.
okay, how can you get such a good PT to score and you look like a weeble?
Yeah, the dude was pretty good.
Oh, he was very mission
He's
driven.
a fucking genius.
He's a genius. He's an inventor. He invented the world's first folding motorcycle that weighs less than 67 pounds. I saw it with my own eyes.
Oh, shit.
Yes.
Yeah, dude's
And it has
genius.
a hybrid motor to it. It's a phenomenal creation. He can't get anybody on the project to fund it.
Yeah, he can't get any first.
And this is where he made it. He had a guy in Afghanistan weld the frame together with a car battery and a coat hanger. He brings this stuff out of mind. I just helped him move from from Florida to Texas. Okay. He's very, okay, Texas is going to be the only standing part of America that's going to be left until they just completely tack nuke Texas. Okay. But besides that, The man has a mind, and he just can just draw these wild creations out
of his ass. I've seen him do it. He like pulls up the pen. Oh yeah, yeah. Well, we could do this.
Well, when he was in Afghanistan, he was the longest.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Now, the guys that were in my platoon, I didn't just like train them because let's face it, you train dogs and monkeys. I forged men.
Yeah.
Men who later on went on to do great fucking things. He went on to be, you became what, a crew chief on the C-130?
I was a load master.
Your load master?
Yes.
A Walker went on to
He
Air
was.
Force.
He went Air
flight.
Force Special Operations. He went weather. He was a
Weather flight guy.
So he became a meteorologist for the Air Force.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, after he did 10 years in the Army system, he's just like, you know what, fuck this, I'm going in the Air Force. And he fucking blew it out of the water.
Well, the man, this is the way he operates. As a civilian, he hates it. But when he's in the war zone,
he's at home.
He is at home, and he really owns it.
He's dialed in, man.
Okay, he would essentially, we still talk a lot on the phone.
I love that guy. Hey, Walker, if you're watching, you're a good motherfucker.
And Goat Belly, he would talk about his adventures. Walker he can sew anything.
Not in a gay way.
Not in a gay way. He was actually...
Let me just knit this
when
up
he was
a little bit. I'll make you a sweater.
Yes,
Something to hold all your starburst.
When he was in Afghanistan, he would literally create gear for the special operations team. Custom gear. Literally leaving bags at his door. He never charged them a dime. Okay. And on top of that, every military in their unit, squad, platoon has a scrounger.
Oh, yeah. He was the
king of
rat.
scroungers. Now, this is coming from him, so I can't necessarily verify the information. It was like this. Hands, shake hands, scratch backs, whatever. Well, this one particular E7, E8. Now, I know Goat Belly's going to correct me, but...
Foot Locker of porn.
Yeah, so... oh, yeah, the Foot Locker of porn.
No, I learned a lot of that while I was a pack
That was
rat.
the commo section.
No, hang on. In Iraq.
Yeah.
We had to take, I think it was like half a dozen up armors to get their brakes worked.
Yes.
We take them to Victory.
Mm-hmm.
They go to the board, they put it on there, and I go, how long is it going to take? He's like, 2.5 months. I'm like, that's unacceptable. And I start haggling with the guy and going down the list of shit I have because, I had a whole like supply room of shit that was just extra.
Yeah.
So I literally try everything. I have nothing left. I'm like, well, I got this Foot Locker of confiscated porn. There's a lot of nasty stuff in there.
Combo had the best porn.
And literally, the guy's like, German porn, scat porn?
Yes.
He's like, wait a minute. And he goes, he talks to a bunch of mechanics.
Yeah.
Comes back, he goes, bring it tomorrow, we'll take a look at it. Next day, I went from 2.5 months to like a little over a week and a day, 8 days. Yeah. It was amazing.
All because a bunch of dudes wanted to watch women taking a dump.
Well, I confiscated all that porn.
Yeah.
I know you did. I'm just saying.
To finish Walker's Crowning achievements, he was like any scrounger. As they leave, an oncoming scrounger comes in, so it's kind of like an informal change of command ceremony.
I know. You got
well, anyways, this particular NCO needed a cement pad poured within a day for an expansion of for the equipment that he needed. Well, Walker then negotiates the deal, so he goes talks to the engineers, and so they said, well, we can't do it unless you bring us lobster tails. Now this is Bagram, mind you. So what does Walker do? I'll be right back.
So he basically pulled a Radar O'Reilly.
In less than an hour, he had one of those wax boxes, ice with at least a dozen red lobster tails. And so I guess, and Walker tells me the story. I'm like, okay, fine. But the expression on their face was like, I guess we got to pour the concrete. Damn it. But Walker would work with a lot of the special operations teams, and his only billing was, hey, do I get to train with you? That's all he wanted to do was train with the special op guys, be it range, fast rope.
That shit's fun, bro.
Yeah. Okay, so that is a very negotiable. It's a very negotiable.
Doesn't cost you nothing.
Doesn't cost you a damn.
Nothing.
You just got to write them on the roster. But Walker became so famous with what he was doing that this one general listed Walker by name on the TONE.
Callbacked.
I refuse to deploy without Pat Walker.
Yeah, callbacked. He got requested by name request by a general.
You don't get that.
Yeah, general is the closest thing that we have to like royalty.
Yes.
Those fuckers like write their own regulations. They make memos that have the equivalent of pretty much a regulation.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to carry the Green Beret thing when I was in civil affairs. It says, as a special forces guy in civil affairs, you can wear your Green Beret.
Yeah.
And because I got all kinds of shit, you're not allowed to wear that now. Oh, I can't wear it here? Got a general here says I can't.
Well,
Like unrolling parchment paper.
so when I was in Afghanistan as air crew, we had a lot of bags to take to the aircraft, especially as a load master. The front enders, those who worked on the flight deck, didn't. So my boss, Dick, he's like, I'm getting pretty sick and tired of carrying my shit, Marty. Okay. So what I do is I changed my name tags out on my uniform because you just the Velcro.
Yeah.
I was Senior Airman Dick Fitzwell.
Dick Fitzwell.
I'm Crinklebert Fisty Buns. I'm from Turkey. Or what was the one that you liked the best? Bendy Dick Come and Snatch.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, I was Senior Airman Dick Fitzwell. So yeah, all of those gators that were
Dr. Howie Felter Snatch. Is he
Exactly.
your
So-
physician? Okay.
so naturally, you were royalty in the Air Force if you had your own gator to drive on. Okay, and for air crew, we had the air crew bus, but it sucked because it was always taken for somebody else to use for. So we necessarily didn't have wheels for transportation. So I go to the motor pool and I switch my name tags out. I go there and says, I'd like to sign out one of your gators, please. And I'd like to have a hard top with hard doors because I'm not wearing that dumbass helmet. They made you wear a helmet inside of a vehicle that was already tested for rollovers on Bagram while you're on base.
Yeah, it's nothing but flat tops.
Yes, but it gets funnier from that portion. From that portion, but so I sign out this gator, and they're looking at me, and they said, "Okay," throws the book out in front of me. I sign for it. D Fitzwell. Yeah, and I put in a bogus squadron.
Nice.
They didn't care, and I drive off.
I did that on Victory a few
So
times.
I drove off with it, never to return with it.
Okay.
I changed the unit designations on the gator.
Oh, that's
I
awesome.
I spray painted over, so I made sure I had collected the spray paint first.
and they can't. They really can't unfuck that until like. Well, it takes a long time.
If you really look at accountability, they get tired real in the logistics. Things are coming and going all the time, so you got to play in those chaotic circles. So I took the vehicle, and my boss Dickie sees me spray painting the bumper on, and it's like 171st Airlift Squadron. He's like, "Marty, where'd you get that?" "Oh, don't worry about it, Dickie. It's ours." and he's just like, "All right,
All right.
let's go to the BX."
No,
Okay.
I used to do in Victory
Yeah.
when I was first sergeant, bouncing around there.
Yeah.
I'd get dropped off and do something. I'd just walk up to like a cut V or whatever, land,
Yeah.
get in, just drive off.
Yeah. I mean, the vehicles.
And then I would leave it parked wherever I was and just forget about it.
The ironic thing was it's a secure base, and people would literally just leave keys in the vehicle. You could walk out of the chow hall,
Jump in
and
the
your
vehicle.
crew bus is gone. Hey, who took the crew bus? Oh.
And then they've unfuck it. And there's always those memos. You will not commandeer vehicles. You will get maxed out. We will court martial you. I'm like, okay.
Well, and so, but I made sure that the load masters had their own little two we had our own gator because we had our helmet bag, we had our book bag with all our publications or the aircraft if we needed various procedures manuals and the owner's manual for the C-130. At least
You
our
don't know everything.
So, and carrying all that stuff, it gets a bit tedious. And Dickie had it by the third day of carrying gear. So when I got this little gator, and I says, now we can't take this anywhere near around the squadron because people are going to start to ask questions. So I had to put 171st Airlift Squadron all over that just to kind of show ownership to the gator. And then the next thing was they see me and Dickie and the gator were driving, and then somebody's like, "Hey, You got to wear your Kevlars. Dickie, he's E9. He goes,
No.
we're Air Force. And we drive. And he goes, just drive, Marty. Just drive. So we keep driving. Well, this doesn't end the Dick Fitzwell story.
Oh, okay.
I got another one. We could wear our PT uniforms, and I'm in the chow hall. I got my uniform partially zipped up, my jacket. This one E9 interrupts his own lunch to come and check me about my uniform. You need to get your uniform within standards. Fine. We were 3 days out from leaving anyways. Yeah. Okay. Lost my appetite. I'm walking away. I pick up a Stars and Stripes. I'm walking and reading, on the sidewalk, going back to my billet.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, first of all, this is how stupid the military has become.
Yes. Well,
You can't walk and read at the same fucking time.
yeah, because you have to salute, but everybody else is wearing a PT uniform with no rank on the exterior.
Yeah. It's so dumb.
You got your sad trombone up there.
Okay, so I'm walking and reading Stars and Stripes.
Wow.
Going back, and all I hear is, hey, you. I just keep going. And it's, somebody yells out again, hey, you, in the PT uniform, reading the newspaper. Damn it. All right. I tuck it under. It's that same E9 who checked me earlier.
Balls.
Oh, damn. Okay. How am I going to get out of this one? Aha. I approach him and he goes, you again. You got a problem. I can sense a real attitude in you. What's your name? Senior Airman Fitzwell. Where are you staying, Fitzwell? I give him the billet.
Yeah.
And so he's like, I'm going to be over there and I'm going to speak to your
Commander.
aircraft commander. I'll be right there. I haul ass. I'm cutting through the 82nd Airborne's tent area because it was right up to mine. And so it's just, I show up. There's Tim. We all called him Kendall. That was his name, Kendall.
Do I want to know why?
The ladies loved it. Wherever we flew, he knew a chick.
Yeah.
Oh.
So we called him Kendall.
I thought it was because you caught him changing in the shower and he didn't have a dick.
I didn't give him the name.
I'm just saying.
Hey,
I
what are
hope-
the rules of nicknames?
I was about to be, poor guy. Oh, it's that. All right, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yes.
One, you don't pick your nickname, and sooner or later you have to accept it.
Yes.
And you don't make your own.
Yes. Because we actually had a pilot, they called him Fuzzy, because he had the hairiest chest and back.
Yeah.
So, anyways. So Tim's like, Marty, we don't run in the Air Force. Why are you panting?
We
I'm
don't
like-
run in there. Dude, that's great. Oh, my God. I thought the defense. Hey, I'm in the Air Force. I thought that was golden. Hey, Marty, we don't run here. What's going on?
What's going on, man? You're trying too
So
hard.
I'm standing there. I'm like, Tim, this E9. He's like, calm down. So I explained to him the story. And he's like, damn it. Here, put this hand, and I'll put these sunglasses on. Let's go outside. So I see him walking up to the billet across from mine. Tim's like, what'd you do, Marty? Just wait, Tim. Just wait. And he's banging on the door. All right. And he's like, Airman Fitzwell. I had to give him the first name, but, for YouTube purposes, it's going to hurt their feelings. Anyway,
Wham.
so he's banging on the door, and this female opens up in a little skirted robe. He's like, I'm looking for Dick Fitzwell. She goes, well, so am I. Wham! Slams the door in his face. And he's looking around. Tim's like, let's go hide. So, and then all you hear is, I'm looking for Dick Fitzwell. And somebody's hollering out, don't ask, don't tell,
Oh, God.
So then Timmy's like, Marty, that was genius. We're going to have to hide you for 3 days until we leave.
Dude, that is great.
Yeah. So
Dick Fitzwell is a national
So
treasure.
I got a patch named with Dick Fitzwell on it. And And so word got back to my squadron commander, and he's like, "You want to tell me about Dick Fitzwell?" I don't know what you're talking about, sir.
I've got those before. Hey, Pop, why don't you walk me through the whole process?
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Why don't you just break it down for me and how did this alter ego suddenly just come out, and where the hell did you come up with Dick Fitzwell?
But the thing is,
yeah.
a lot of these officers love to hear these stories.
Yeah.
They're not going to do anything about it. Yeah. They just want to hear all the nasty details. Does he know you're in my command? No. Okay, we're good. Keep going.
Yeah.
It's not going to fall back on me.
I mean, there was just the Air Force had its own level of shenanigans.
Every branch of the service has their own culture.
Okay, what me being cross-cultured from Army to Air Force kind of led a lot of them into a point of confusion of where my dark side came from.
Uh-huh.
And so I didn't apply any serious level of evil genius, because majority of the Air Force that I've dealt with were actually pretty cool.
Yeah, you didn't have to
There were a few egotistical shits, but they were usually on the fighter side because they just thought, so we just all call him by one name, Tom Cruise. We'd all call him Tom Cruise. Oh, hey, look, it's Tom
Maverick.
Cruise. Yeah, Maverick. So when you ever had the opportunity, when the fighter pilots were nearby, even though it didn't apply to them, you play, Highway to the Danger Zone, and you get these looks. Immediately, it was like it just set a point of activation in their mind that they were just someplace else. Because I don't know what the rivalry was between naval fighter pilots and Air Force fighter pilots, because one says that one is better than the other.
Yeah, it's just how it works. They're not doing that.
You know what?
Listen, it was like dirty leg. You're airborne. We're better than you. Ranger. We're better than you. I mean, it's just the way it works, man. It's all
Pissing
good.
contest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then majority of the fighter pilots I ran into didn't like being talked to by an NCO aviator, because that's what they considered load masters, was you're an NCO aviator. Didn't fly. I just said, look, I smash your cargo together to make it fit. All right, that's it. Nothing special. I haul your trash, be it wherever. I think the most fun I ever had was with Puerto Rico when I flew with them for a year. Mm-hmm. In 2008, throughout 2008, was a fantastic year flying with Puerto Rico.
Well, hang on. What is your take on Latino titties?
Well,
now, I'm just going to be honest. Those, if you look at the right ones, those are amongst some of the best ones you can actually gaze upon if you're lucky enough to get that done.
I saw some impressive racks. Okay. Well, in Puerto Rico at the time, they have a mall called the Plaza Las Americas. And I could be wrong, but I was dating this one Puerto Rican girl at the time. And she says, no, there's an actual outpatient doctor here who will do boob jobs inside the mall.
In the mall.
In the mall.
Wow.
That's amazing.
They already come out of the box with damn good tits.
I know.
Wow.
So
But then you got to give them a tune-up.
Yes.
So you basically went on to do great things. And towards the tail end of your career, when you were actually the NCOIC who planned and monitored all of the air traffic for Europe and Africa, basically the entire Mediterranean.
Just the air mobility.
Well, I know.
Yeah.
Air mobility.
Yeah.
But you were in the talk when the Benghazi shit went down.
Yes.
All right, so hang on.
Yeah.
We're going to get into this, but we're going to do some super chats first.
Okay.
Yep.
And then we're going to talk about this because this is important.
Yes, it is.
All right.
All right, we'll get some super chats in here.
Well, how many viewers do
Check
we
it
have
out.
first?
852 on YouTube.
All right.
We got Twitch working tonight. We got 34 over there, 63 on DLive, 54 on Odyssey, and 32 on MGTOW.
Sweet.
Outstanding. Let's jump into it right away. We got Triggers McNickers, who helped me out this week. Thank you, sir, with a $10 donation. Keep me laughing with your podcasts and keep me busy with more edits, please. They're coming your way.
Amen.
Oh, and a women. Excuse me.
That's gay.
I know. K to the Swiss. Then you've got these two scurvy shyster shitebox thumbjackers. I like it.
Yeah.
Ohio Trucker with a $20 donation. All right. There we go.
We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
Damn right. Having a drinking game with Dad. Every time someone gets in Pop's thinking meat, we take a shot. There is $2,000 and a 69 Charger on the line.
Oh, my God.
I hope we got some nasty SOBs in the chat tonight. No, we haven't had anything nasty yet, but we've definitely had some comedy gold in the chat.
Yeah.
Well, the whole riggers thing.
Oh,
You know, it's like only a rigger can call a rigger a rigger. Just saying. I did hashtag shiver me riggers. That was in there. My rigga. Keep them coming, guys. These are hilarious. And of course, we've had about 38 helpings of Let's Go Brandon.
Nice. Nice.
Yes.
Patriot of the West. Odin bless, gentlemen. A new place to lay my head at night, no longer in a motel trap. Outstanding.
All right.
Working in security qual and the right track for joining ADF within the next 5 years. 2 RAR is goal amphibious infantry.
All right, cool.
I think that's how that's pronounced. 2 RAR. Aaron Williams. Let's go, Brandon. Fuck Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Give him the clap, Pop.
Got her in. Fuck that guy.
Lord Pepsi. Make critical thinking great again. Let's go, Brandon.
Yeah, he's a lost cause.
Yes. The combat mechanic. As a retired old war horse, I'm enjoying the stories. I am too. That's good shit right there. Thumper, the sweaty fat guy. Welcome to the show again, good sir. Empty your own damn honey bucket. C-130 load. Stop making us 2 T2s do it. Straw, please. And
Hey, can I make a response to the 2T2?
go
Yeah,
for
sure,
it.
sure.
You signed up for the job. I didn't.
Rigor cultural appropriation. So you say rigor, we say rigga. Rigor, hard R.
Hard R, yes.
Thumper also requested some Starburst. Ironically, Pop armed me up earlier today on Total Accident. So
Okay, well,
you guys just wait for that.
Since this rigor motif is carrying on, is this going to be a shirt?
I don't know. Maybe we'll see.
I don't know.
Just don't whip those at my head.
I'll be fine.
I won't throw too many complicated things your way.
I'm not going to make you like eat him out of a diseased coop. or
Oh,
anything.
stop, man.
I got it as thinking meat. I win. First blood has been drawn. Jeffrey Paul sprained your anus. Did you wear a sling for that? Asking for a friend.
No. I legitimately, after the big shootout in Iraq on April 10th, I literally walked, after we got back to the, rear, I walked up to the medic and I'm like, I think I sprained my anus. Should I go on sick call for that? He's like, I think you should wait a few days. That literally happened. I mean, literally, the pucker factor was intense.
Pucker factor.
I remember that one time when Pete got hurt with his shoulder and you actually took him to the Army Medical Hospital.
I took him to the medics, yeah.
Yeah, and you actually told an Army doctor, no, sir, you're not doing it. I'm not getting a warm fuzzy here.
That's right, because they want to take him to Madigan. When I was in the Rangers, we had a bunch of guys die there because of malpractice.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And I told the captain, I'm like, go ahead, send him to Madigan. There'll be some dire fucking consequences.
I'm not getting a warm fuzzy here, sir.
No.
He told the office, I'm not getting, he's like, what? So my experience with the VA, now there could be some very well off and very proficient doctors, but in the broad overview of the VA, somebody said, yeah, this is where the C+ doctors go.
It pretty much is. Yeah. And we'll talk about this later. But
Yeah, that's
yeah,
that's
we got to finish the
He said,
super
but.
chats. We got to finish. Oh, there we go.
no.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's hit the super chats.
Super chats. R. Pitak. Apparently a Boston Bruins fan with a $10 donation. Thank you so much. Let's go, Brandon. Let the salt flow. We just topped over 900 viewers on
Damn.
YouTube. And, oh, man, the rigger talk is in full. Riggers squeeze triggers. That's my Jerry rigger. Rigga, please. There's even a song called Rigga, Rigga, bitch, Rigga, Rigga. Fried chicken, Rigga,
Did
watermelon,
I open a can of
Rigga.
worms or something?
Yep, I think you did.
That's awesome.
Well, most of my fans have the military. They're
Sense
not
of humor.
a lot of them are military, but they all have that warped sense of humor, which I appreciate.
Oh, yeah. A warped sense of humor is required just to be in the chat. And apparently, people have brought their warp with them tonight. Welcome to the show, gents. Crazy uncle with a donation. When I hear someone tell me I have to take the shaft, I have started responding, so you're telling me to compromise my integrity and my moral courage? Bitch. Ask Pop what that means.
You don't fucking. Well, first of all, when you go to your grave, all you're going to have left is your dignity, honor, and self-respect.
And your name. Your name. You just go to grave with your name. And it carries everything.
Yeah. And once you compromise that, it's almost impossible to get back. So don't do it for anybody. Period.
Boom. Crimson Hawk with a $20 donation. Thank you so much, good sir. Why do riggers always have to do the hard work? Also, can you guys get Sabo on the show? He's interested.
Yeah, send us his contact information. Redonkulous12gmail.com and we'll contact him.
So why do riggers always have to do the hard work?
Because I signed up for the job.
There you
Okay, first of all, they pack shoots all day. It's monotonous. It sucks.
Yeah. There are actual riggers from the 82nd that would commit suicide.
go. Oof.
Because of the amount of work. I don't know if there was a quota. Or
It's a
they
tedious
had to
amount.
keep the production going because the amount of jumps that were going on at the 82nd.
Yeah.
It would literally just drive them to the point of depression, insanity, or this sucks.
Damn.
And it doesn't help that you got a lot of bad leadership cracking them with.
And the toxicity just coming from your leadership alone is enough for some of these young riggers to say, what the hell am I doing? And
Sorry.
on top of that, you put your name to each one of those packing cards. So if you think you pack, I don't know, hundreds of shoots.
It's usually, I think, 15 to 30 a day.
Yeah, so you have to keep the momentum up. If you make one mistake and your name's on that shoot, it all goes back to you.
Yeah,
Jail.
just like in the 90s, they had the Mickey Mouse rigger.
Yeah, because I saw Colonel Abizade's Humvee burn in Germany.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's actually quite satisfying to watch.
I
To watch heavy drops collapse and fall to the ground.
I like Colonel Abizade, and he's like, this is going to suck walking. But literally his Humvee came out on a heavy drop.
And
Okay. And the chute, either, I don't know, somewhere in the rigging, just failed to deploy. And it just comes out, and it was like the world's most expensive lawn jar.
Yeah.
When it hits,
I've seen all
It
kinds
hits.
of shit
yes.
like falling.
And you hear it.
I saw them drop a 155 into the parking lot, PX at Fort Lewis when I was a PFC.
Yeah.
I've seen 3 Humvees burn in. Okay. I've seen all kinds of crazy ass shit. What's so funny, man?
The chat, man.
They're killing you.
Rigger jigger, the bigger digger.
Hey, let's hit these super
Rigs
chats.
and the riggas be rigging. Rigger says, what? That rigger packed your shit good.
Oh my God.
Oh, it's off the chain, man.
Let's hit some more super chats, man.
Oh man. I hope you like this studio. It's been rigged. Wow. Let's go, riggers. Oh, man, just
Nice.
keep it on going, man. These are great.
Oh, my God.
Helm's Way 1. Love these streams. Have another one on me.
Okay.
So much. Thumper again. Long story how I ended up 605/2T2. Please expound upon the honey bucket for Pop and the crew.
Oh, we know what that is. That's where you're shitting piss in it.
All right,
God.
for everybody out there that doesn't know what a honey bucket is in the C-130, it's the toilet.
Yep.
That's all it is. It's the toilet. And you put a liner in it, and you wrap the curtain around, and that's where you do your business. Majority of the people that I knew on board the aircraft would never use it.
Now, what about the piss funnel?
The piss funnel.
Yeah, I use that quite a bit.
Well, yeah, everybody uses the piss funnel, and I swear to God, there was this one woman in the Air Force that I knew. She would use the piss funnel standing up as a chick without the assistance of the whatever.
Anything extra.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those crazy chicks who could probably write her name in the snow.
Well, this chick was rather brilliant. She was a stripper, and she invested the majority of the money she made stripping. And she retired very early in her life.
Well, good for her.
There's no sex in the champagne room, right?
Of course. What's the next super chat?
You know what?
We got to get through these super
have-
chats.
Get off my lawn, rigger.
Come on, man.
Rigger-boo. Rigaboo.
Well, the floodgates just opened up.
It really did.
Oh my God.
Oh man, these are like T-shirts galore in here, man. Ricka stole my bike.
Oh my God.
You could sing that to the training music from Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Ricka stole my bike. Ricka stole my bike, and that's exactly what it looks like. It's a dude running after a black dude on a bicycle. I played that game too much as a kid.
Yeah, that's a legitimate game.
It's a good game though, man.
Oh, the 16-bit glory days.
Oh yeah.
What's the next one?
Hashtag Brews, hashtag Koala Killer donated $20 from Australia.
All right.
You might want to hang on to the rest of that just in case they decide to throw you in a COVIDiot camp.
Yeah.
Got in some supermassive trouble at work with the government for not disclosing my client's private info to two random librarian CVNTs. If you know what I mean. See you next Tuesdays. Post-wall Karens, so now treated like a kitty fiddler for protecting my client. What the fornication?
That's fucked up.
Wow. Crazy uncle. I was actually quoting the NCO Creed. Doing so has gotten a lot of people to back off.
All right.
Forced out one. Bought me some Sapporo Premium.
Nah.
It's good. Yeah, it is. That's some good Japanese beer, man. The Enlightened Mr. Peabody. When I was 8 years old, Rigger stole my bike. Irish Letter 7745. Did you ever get rigged by Riggs whilst being rigged?
Mm-mm.
No. How about you?
Can't recall.
Yeah, if you got rigged by Riggs, you'd probably have herpes on your butthole.
Yep, you'd have a butt clit.
That's how you know she likes it in the pooper a little bit too often. Her butthole has a clit. I'm just saying. Somebody wants to know if Brandon is a rigger. I
don't know.
I don't know. It's quite possible. Rigger lives matter. 30 seconds out. Rigger, get off my porch.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, Vinegar Riggers, what's up with Benghazi? Oh, we're about to get there. Hang on just 1 second. Joe Biden is a rigger maggot, says Anderson Paladin.
Nice.
Dung is fun. Hey, Pop, happy belated birthday. I've got a birthday gift for you. Hey, Blake.
Oh, that hit me in the head.
I win. Suck it. All right, let's jump on over to Streamlabs here. Take a look and see if we got anything. We do. Pulse Kebab, $25 donation. Thank you so much, sir.
We're not worthy! We're not worthy!
I like it. Oh, what we got here? Gentlemen, Bear Money's Blake Hammerhand is doing a live stream. Some of the guys and wrenches are over there. They'll pop in later. Pun intended.
That's cool.
That might explain the huge attendance boost that we got just a little bit ago. Because we are now up over 955.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Not bad at all. Shark dentures. I would love to walk into a mall and see a TGIF cup store. Also, let's go, Brandon. Jackal the Emperor, one of our youngest red pill converts. How you pounders doing tonight? Might have been a typo. I'm not sure exactly. Or poo pounders, perhaps. Good to see the Thursday night streams again. How y'all like the butts I sent you? Those were some nice butts.
Yeah, they're good shit.
Some good shit right there. These are Thursday night streams, but they will only be every other week unless you are signed up for a membership on local Subscribestar or Patreon. Pop is doing Q&A streams every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. And so far, they've been going pretty damn well.
Yeah, they do pretty good.
Unfortunately, only like 20, 30 dudes turn in, so
I get like 20,
gotta get on that shit.
Yeah, 20, 25 guys.
Yeah.
They field questions. I answer all their stuff.
Yeah, like 2
Pretty
hours
good.
of streaming. Good stuff. Donicide 13.
Evening, gents. I can drink with y'all tonight. Winning. Make wino Blake great again.
Yeah, I can't do that shit. I tried. I'm allergic to sulfites. Shit makes me fat, makes me gain weight, makes me turn red. I can't do it. I'm sorry. But we got whiskey. I got whiskey and I got beer. What the fuck? You see that shit?
Stuck to it.
Gonna get spun up over Vegas and Benghazi. Never forget Budweiser guy. Beer in one hand, flipping the bird to the shooters he couldn't see with the other. Cheers to him.
Amen. That's good shit right there.
Damn right. Shark dentures again. I don't care what this stream is supposed to be about. I'm just glad to have a Thursday night pop stream again.
Did they ever identify the middle finger guy?
I don't know.
I don't know. He's a legend.
Yes.
Jimmy Bones, when you meet up on the plane, what's up, my riggers? when you get cute malfunctions and the guy that set it up for you comes in with a BS excuse, rig it, please.
Damn.
Oh, shit. I think Shark Dentures just stole the night, guys.
All right.
If you have a hard time figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, you ain't a rigger.
Oh, my God.
That is a quote attributed to Joe Brandon. Jackal the Emperor. A rigger, ligma, digger so hard the rigger figured the bigger cligger piggered higger. Wow.
That's a mouthful.
Yes, it is. Say that 3 times fast, why don't you? I don't think that's going to be happening anytime soon.
Nah.
So I'm going to play this first.
All right.
Because, I just, as somebody who actually was there, or at the very least, you planned the operation to get these dudes out, how did this make you feel?
People
After
have
seeing a
accused
September 9th
Ambassador Rice
school-
and the administration of, misleading Americans. I can say, trying to be in the middle of this and understanding what was going on, nothing could be further from the truth. Was information developing? Was the situation fluid? Would we reach conclusions later that weren't reached initially? And I appreciate the...
Madam Secretary, do you disagree with me that a simple phone call to those evacuees to determine what happened wouldn't have ascertained immediately that there was no protest? I mean, that was a piece of information that could have been easily obtained.
Well, but Senator, again,
within hours, if not days.
Senator, when you're in these positions, the last thing
How to
you
let
want to
everyone
do is
know you're
interfere
lying
with
without
any
admitting
other
that you're lying.
process
That's,
going
I
on.
realize,
you don't
I
ever answer
realize
the
that's-
question.
I
Number
realize
two,
that's-
she never
number
did
two,
answer the question
no,
to
it's the
any of
fact.
that.
Number two, I would
she
recommend
just thought she
highly
naturally,
you
in
read
my
both what
opinion,
the
this
ARB
is-
said about it and the classified
She was just
are, because
riding
even
on her
today,
current wave
there are
of popularity
questions
because this
being
was at the
raised.
time of the
Now, we have no doubt they were
2016
terrorists,
Yeah, I got
they
it.
were
primaries.
militants, they attacked us,
So
they
she
killed our
knew
people.
she was
But
untouchable.
what was going on
When I
and
was,
why
it's
they
a
were
16-hour
doing what they were
deposition.
doing.
Ironically, she knew that she had a bunch of riggers in the DNC just waiting in the wings.
Well, anyways, and yes, I forced myself to listen to this entire deposition on everything, and I'm just like,
With all due
lie,
respect, the
lie,
fact is,
lie,
we had 4
lie.
dead Americans. Was it because
She
of a
never,
protest, or was it because of
and like
guys
she
out
like
for a
here,
walk one night who decided
she
they'd go
completely
kill some
tries to
Americans?
obfuscate
What
by
difference
spinning the
does it
panel.
This part I hate here when she said, what difference
What
does it
difference
make?
does it make? Yeah.
Fuck her. God damn it, I hate
Yeah,
that
that's
woman.
somebody who cannot stand the idea of accountability.
It's quite unfortunate, though, that she is the one that coined the phrase, what did the president know and when did he know it? And that was her absolute staple to this corrupted fame ladder that she's been set upon.
She is such a...
And then she's convinced a good portion of this nation that we should feel lesser about ourselves because of our personal convictions and morals, and we believe where America should be. But yet, we all know she's a statist, and she is an absolute communist. I mean, I'm going to say it. She is a communist.
I would go with that.
Yes.
Well, and she's fucking corrupt as the day is long.
Well, yes.
She has her and her husband have
Runs
a
in her
laundry
veins.
list of people.
Well, how many friends of their close friends have died?
It's somewhere in the 90s.
I mean,
It's
seriously.
statistically impossible to have that many people
mean,
around you commit suicide.
When you discuss women on your show with a body count, she literally has a body count.
She has both body
Yeah.
counts because when in her younger days, she had to be a cock gargling cunt.
No. Story time.
Oh, boy. Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
Allegedly,
Allegedly.
the GOAT used to work with one of the Clintons' personal details.
He told me that. Goat belly?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
She was.
They would see, she would never sleep in the same mansion as Bill. She would sleep in the guest house. 2 women enter, 2 women leave.
So you're saying she's a.
Lumpy liver liquor.
She is a
Look,
smelly.
if I'm wrong,
Smelly old lumpy liver liquor.
but but Goat Belly has never lied.
No, he's not a liar.
No.
And I've talked to Secret Service guys who were assigned to the White House. Yeah. And he said something like their tours there were like 6 months long. Very few would do 2 tours. Yeah. As soon as their time was up, they're like, "Get me the fuck out of there! This fucking halitosis bitch is driving me crazy."
She's a very hateful woman.
Yeah. Cheers.
And anyways,
So anyway, let's get on. Let's get on with this.
She's, I mean, bottom line, of course, they officially found that, what was her name? Susan Rice didn't lie. But of course, we know now that was a lie. New documents confirm Obama White House manipulated intel and lied about Benghazi. Did anybody actually hear about this in the lamestream media? Of course not, because this only came out on Judicial Watch on June 30th, 2020.
Well, and one of the main reasons, like, I've decided to talk about today is, number one, he's in town. He's a direct witness to a lot of the shenanigans that went on. And number two, this is just, hitting the point home that the Democrat administrations shit the bed and get people killed, wipe their ass with their sheets on the way out, and have absolutely zero accountability for it.
But nobody can possibly crown Brandon's disaster in Afghanistan.
No. What?
That right there is
that's monumentally fucked up.
And the fact that it's already kind of drifting out of the public consciousness is just a testament to how fucked we are as a country.
So it accurately shows you the attention span.
Yep.
And well, let's establish the timetable on the day of the night.
Hang on. Are we moving into Benghazi now, or what do you want?
Yeah. Let them talk about it, dude. That's what we're all talking about.
I got a call at 2:30 in the morning.
Okay,
Germany
first
time.
of all, identify your rank at the time.
I was an E6 tech sergeant.
Your actual duty position and where it was located.
I was a mission planner for the AMOS in Ramstein Air Force Base.
And what were you responsible for?
I was responsible for all mobility command airlift. That meant C-130J.
Okay, so you're talking about buckets that fly with human beings in them.
We flew trash.
Yep. Okay, gotcha.
A to B. All around Europe and Africa. Right.
Yeah, but the thing is you could actually see all the aircraft, where they were, and what was going on. It didn't have to be mobility, but you knew where all the...
And incoming sister units.
Okay.
All right, because they would show up on the line board.
Okay, and explain what the line board is.
Line board is essentially what we call where it's a flight schedule. That's all it is. Incoming, outgoing. And
okay, incoming planes, outgoing planes. You have the number of personnel on them, the range, the mileage.
Well, it has flight time, ground time, and then
so it's very detailed.
It's very detailed.
So somebody, like a senior officer, could walk up to this board and answer a majority of his questions without having to bother you, because you don't like to talk to those people. I know, because you were a member of my squad and you fucking hated talking officers.
So the best thing to do was to put it on what I call a beautiful mind board.
Yeah.
Okay. And during that time at Benghazi, I established quite a bit, because when I'm working, I'm not that well off of a multitasker.
I got you. See, now you got me drinking, motherfucker.
All right, you drink.
All right, I'm getting spun up here. I had to listen to that cunt.
So I'm called in the morning, and I was like, "What's going on?" Major hand goes, "You'll see when you get to operation."
So they won't even brief you over the phone?
Nope.
Okay.
So I get there.
So that's a warning. That's serious shit, because I've had the same thing.
Yeah.
I can't brief you on secured line. You need to get in here.
Yes. All right. So I show up, and everybody, it's just at 2:00 and 2:30 in the morning, the entire planning floor is just frantic. And my first mission was find my aircraft and cancel every single flight.
All right. So hang on. So you cancel every single flight.
Every single C-130J that was the squadron that was assigned.
That was either going to take off or was in flight. You told them to land and don't take off again. You're grounded.
Usually a lot of those flights wouldn't be flying at night unless there was a specific waiver, because you have what we call diplomatic issues with certain countries, especially with our aircraft flying over their skies at night.
Yeah, I gotcha.
All right. And in Europe, especially with Africa being a continent with 58 separate countries that you have to contend with, and you have a diplomatic clearance guide that's that thick.
You and I both know
that
those countries in Africa are nothing but fish in the barrel to a C-130 gunship.
They are.
Yes.
They are.
All right, move along.
So I found the aircraft, canceled lines, and the funny thing is that the J Squadron was always in continuous motion, 24/7.
All right.
And their operations or their flight centers, they call the barrel. And I'm recalling certain things, so my memory is a bit fuzzy. But
How many years ago was this for you? 10?
this was 2012.
Okay. So, yeah, 10 years ago.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So as I'm canceling their flights live, they're like, everything starts coming out. What the fuck? You don't have authorization.
Are they calling you
Over the phone.
on the phone?
It's a secure line.
And they're bitching at you.
Okay.
Okay.
Because they actually knew nothing.
About Benghazi.
Well, they did. They're like, okay. But yet they kind of left him in a moment of suspense in a mid-run. Like, okay, we're going to wait on what operations has going on. So I'm the joker canceling all their flights, leaving them in place wherever they at. So whatever crews were expecting to come home to chill for
Whatever.
go in the crew rest, whatever, they're stuck in place. And those weren't we had one crew stuck in Rota, Spain, and they hated it.
In your opinion, why were they doing that? Were they doing that to clear up the airspace to make...
No, because it wasn't to clear up the airspace. It was basically looking at what assets were close by.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All right. And what
They wanted to put the assets on the ground so somebody could make... one of the 30-pound brain motherfuckers could make a decision on if it was plausible.
And naturally, you've got those who bring up various other threats. There could be another protest in another part of the Arab Spring or somewhere in the Middle East that could go against one of our embassies. So the best thing to do is, the dumbest thing you can do is keep the aircraft on the ground. They're best in the air. Okay. But I'm here canceling lines.
You're an NCO. There's really... All you do is you do what the officers tell you to do. I got you. I've been there.
I'm called in and I'm doing this. The first thing I do. So I'm getting some heat over the phone. No big deal. I'm used to it. My major at the hand, Major Hand, great guy. He was retired, and he was just that. In a lot of ways, we shared a brain on this issue because he was just I'm going to forward you information.
What rank did he retire as?
I think he retired as a lieutenant colonel.
All right.
So yeah, he retired as a lieutenant colonel, and the whole process was, you're going to get various tasks, and you're going to have to check on your emails through SIPR and pull what information.
All right,
so
SIPR.
you understand the NIPR-SIPR concept.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. For those of you that don't know what a SIPR is, it's a classified communication network for computers and the red phone.
Yes. Absolutely.
And NIPR is that's open source.
Yeah, NIPR is non-secure Internet Protocol Router. SIPR is secure.
Yeah.
So you apply the words accordingly to the acronym.
Nipper-sipper sounds like those guys who like to wear diapers and suck on women's breastises and buy breast milk on eBay, but that's just me.
Way to digress here.
I tried to sell my ex-wife's breast milk on eBay.
So in short, whatever lift that they were doing the next day was done. So you have a lot of Army commanders going, what the hell? Where's my gear? How come my gear got canceled? How come my flight got canceled? Because once the ball started rolling in operations,
that's when shit fucking
yes,
lights up. Yeah.
Because, and then once all of those lines were canceled, I was accounting for all aircraft, all tail numbers, and crews. Mm-hmm. And they said, put them in a Bravo alert posture. So for those that haven't been in the aviation world, it's a
24-hour
recall. So they basically can't wander too far away from their station.
It's a 24-hour turnaround.
Yeah. Okay. And eventually it got updated to Alpha. Now Alpha's is almost an immediate recall to the aircraft.
So those guys are waiting in a waiting room. And
they're in crew lounge. Naturally, crew rest is mandatory because there are certain regulations for flight. Mm-hmm. Okay, but waivers were being literally shucked out like dollar bills.
That's actually how it works in the combat world.
Yeah.
The regulations that you normally go by on a day-to-day basis, when shit heats up, if you're a general, you can just write over that shit and say, I'm fucking making a command decision.
So to get back on point.
All right.
Now I start getting the information as far as exactly what's going and happening on the ground. So now the Army side of my brain starts kicking in. And so a lot of questions are going back and forth about aircraft configuration. How many bodies can we put onto the aircraft? And then everyone's got to start thinking a little differently, but still you're regulated
By your
within
left
the
and right limits.
parameters of your job. Stay in your lane. Okay. That's it. Stay in your lane,
Yeah.
which for the most part is good. And it keeps
hard to
everything
do,
harmonious in operations.
Yes and no.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
There are.
Coming from a guy who worked in the TOC,
Yeah.
we know.
Yeah.
But I do give props to Colonel Morlock, who was in charge of the AMOS at the time, because he kept everybody focused. Okay. Major Hand kept me busy. I updated him with information. Granted, a lot of mine was just putting everything into the system. The barrel would read where lines, what was going, updates. Basically, at that time, after the flight cancellations, it was just answering a lot of phone calls. After that, on various secure lines. Well,
If I recall, you got to actually stay in one of the secured rooms for a while because you spoke Army.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I spoke Grunt.
Yes.
That's why you're
One of my proteges
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
speaking grunt.
now I give it to Air Force officers, majors and above, because then the Air Force allows them to explore a lot more of the sister services, because we did a lot of support flights for Army, Navy, Marines. In Europe, you share a lot of the assets, okay? So when things started ramping up, that's when I knew I had to go fairly primitive and away from the digital world. I went back to the old planning LERP concept. Okay. So my beautiful mind board got bigger. And therefore, I had information such as aircraft configurations as far as what's needed and how many packs we will go for this configuration. I also had a map of Europe and Africa and each area where aircraft were staged, where what was there,
and
what was their tail number, what was their alert status, and the positions that they were in. And so I had all that pinned out. So all somebody had to do was walk into my planning cell, look at the wall, and I could just be doing what work I needed to do without answering any of their questions, which alleviated about 80% of the frustration right there.
all right.
And as updates came by, I'd always make sure things were real time.
All right, so we got you in the talk, doing your shit.
Yeah.
When it started to heat up, what happened?
When things started to ramp up, it was,
At what point did they actually have the drone in the air?
oh gosh, I don't know.
Because you saw in real time through the drone what the fuck was going on the ground.
I caught a glimpse of it, and it was very unfortunate.
Yeah, you saw the mortar
I saw the
attacks
3
that-
mortar rounds straight.
That was pretty much the end of it. Those are the last guys that got whacked.
Yes. I just happened to be in then with, once again, defaulting to more primitive side of myself, Army-wise. I literally said, they're not dead yet. And I got kicked off the floor. Go back to your operations planning cell.
Yeah, I got you.
So it was very frustrating having to see that, and it almost, all these efforts and the time that you took to reposition the assets, communicate with the assets, communicate with foreign airfields. I talked with Alpha Greece. I was talking to Israel.
Yeah.
And so that way, if we need to evacuate flights and flying, I didn't do any route planning, but I was getting real heavy into diplomatic clearances and what was needed to fly over a country in Africa. Because in Africa, if we just cross the border, let's say from Libya to Syria, our aircraft has to land, pay to use their airspace, pay for fuel, launch. And then you're going into the assisting country, the neighboring country, wash, rinse, repeat. It was just all about money.
Extortion. Yeah.
It was flying through, unless you declare an emergency service such as what we needed for Benghazi. So I went a step further. If we were actually going to have our aircraft land, where were they going to land? So in real time, I asked our intel for photos of nearby airfields or any such areas where a C-130 could land. I found 2 airports in a construction zone. So
while that was happening, you were going back to the old LURS days,
yes.
And you were planning the exfil mission if it needed to be done.
I was looking at security of the airfield, looking at their fence, I was looking at where fuel was positioned if they needed to refuel, where they
So
could
you're
put the
ammo, beans, bullets, gas.
yes, where they could put the aircraft securely. Okay, trying to get an idea if the gates were actually secured or if they were just haphazardly just locked in some ill fashion. So did you have to demo the gates and then?
Yeah, that's a whole.
And the
other-
security for the aircraft guys were like, "What?" Yeah, blow the gate or cut the lock. Do you guys have a set of bolt cutters? Do you have anything where you can penetrate the gate to get the vehicles through and then re-secure, because you're going to have to hold that position to let the zombie apocalypse from reaching you and then you to avoid from you turning into a zombie. Okay. So it was all about security of our personnel and our aircraft at that point. So I was
as it should
getting
be.
real time photos
Yeah.
of the two airfields, and then I saw the construction field that was not too far, and I was talking to one of the intel weenies. All right, how long is this road? You know, how hard are these buildings? You know, these guys are supposed to, I thought, know this stuff.
Hang on. When I went to be an intel analyst,
Yes.
I literally walked into the school. The OIC and NCOIC were like, "Thank God you're here," and I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" He goes, "Because you've actually walked on the ground, you've done real world operations. So when you look at a fucking map, you go, that's a fucking cliff. You can't walk off the cliff."
So
So a lot of those guys come out of basic AIT and work intel forever, never walk the ground.
yeah. So he was like, "What do you mean how long that road is?" Yeah, I need a ratio to the size of the photo to the road, building clearances on either side, wingtip clearances, and the length, because, you know, we've put C-130s inside soccer stadiums by using the JATO bottles, which we discussed earlier.
Yeah, I actually,
Yeah.
I did that one
Yeah.
time. That was like some Buck Rogers shit, right?
So for JATO, it's just Genesis to takeoff. And they also use them for landing for the immediate braking of the aircraft. But JATO is going to completely just warp the frame of the aircraft. You've junked the plane. Okay.
Wow, you turned it into a parts factory.
Yeah, it's a parts factory. So, when again, I'm not a maintenance guy. And JATO was something that I've never in my life experienced as a loadmaster. So but hearing the stories, reading and seeing JATO landing in a fucking soccer field in a stadium.
I know.
Okay. So do we go to those lengths? Is it really necessary? I don't know. That's not my call. I don't do that.
No.
I was just,
That's an emergency fucking thing, right?
I did. When I was told to schedule a flight, figure out the flight times, get with weather, get with DIPS, which were diplomatic clearances, and figure out where we're going to put our aircraft. So when I put those airfield pictures up and I started circling hot areas that were susceptible to security threats to the aircraft while it's on the ground, you know, so that way everybody knew when they walked into the planning cell that the aircraft could go here, but you've also got to pay attention to this gate, this building. This is where the fuel's at. Do you want to park the aircraft close to the fuel? Are they even going to agree with us to even do anything at the airfield for us?
Doesn't fucking matter.
No, it
You're on
doesn't.
the ground. You just say, "Fuck it, we're taking your full."
It doesn't.
We'll pay you later.
So as I got more and more in depth into the planning and letting my beautiful mind board expand on itself, the shameful part of the whole planning effort came when we were told just to turn it all off, stand down.
At what time was that? Do you recall?
I remember that was on a Saturday.
What time though?
That was about midday, my time in Germany.
And what time was that in Benghazi?
Same time. It was all in the same time zone.
Okay.
Yeah. We were told to shut down because we had aircraft sitting static. We had Spectre gunship of all aircraft come out of Herbie Field.
Where's that at?
Herbie Field. Oh, it's called Hurlburt Field. It's out of Florida.
Okay.
So they flew out and they had to divert them to Mildenhall, England, because they had sharp pointy objects on them. They could go kinetic in an instant. You know Spectre. We all know Spectre.
Yeah, Spanky.
But they wouldn't let them fly in Aviano because of the A6 intruder incident back in 89, 90.
Yeah, that's when they killed that.
Yeah, when the A6 intruder cut the car cable, and they all plummeted to their
It's
death.
like 36 people.
So the Grim Reaper was on the stick. We all know.
They had an argument with physics and they died.
Yes, yeah, they lost. So they diverted them to Mildenhall, England. So imagine taking your aircraft all the way up to Mildenhall, England, and landing there.
And then fly to Germany.
And then
Fly all the way to the...
Yes. So it increased the response time for actually having anything kinetic put on the ground.
Now, I got some other soldiers that told me they had airborne units in Italy.
Yeah, they have
getting
on
planes, and like people were getting relieved on the tarmac. People were like, "Fuck it, we're going anyway." I mean, I personally, like I said earlier, if I was the 2-star running that whole thing, when the State Department called me, I'd be like, "Oh yeah, I'll stop everything," and I'd be like, "Keep doing what you're doing." I would fall on my sword because as a 2-star, what are they going to do to you? Nothing. You drop your retirement packet. A week later, you're playing golf.
Yeah, you're looking forward for the first of the month. That's it.
So, in my opinion, the 2-star who is running that is a shameful bastard for not doing that.
Well,
That's just my opinion.
Anyways, I'm going to debunk a big one on Hillary when she said we didn't have the assets. We had the assets.
Oh, I know we did.
We had the assets. When they before I could cancel the flights and reassign new flight lines and position aircraft where they needed to be, we had 2 tankers in orbit over the Med because F-16s were already alerted out of Aviano.
Yeah, but the thing is like if you want to bring in CAG or Delta, they're stateside for the most part. Yep. But I know they have SF teams in Africa, and those guys.
We had SF out of Stuttgart.
Yeah,
they were 10th group. They were the JV Delta boys.
Well, that's basically the second string to Delta Force.
But their aircraft weren't C-130; they're MC-130. So they come with the fuel boom. They come with the external fuel pod.
Yeah.
So they have the range in these aircraft. The MC-130s are a bit more sturdier, and they get upgraded.
In your opinion, how long would you think it would take for those guys to get into action when it kicked off?
5.4 hours.
All right.
Right from their current position with weather and with the mountain range they'd have to traverse was 5.4 hours. I planned it out.
And what time would that put on the objective?
At the time it would have put them on the objective, they could at least save the lives of the contractors.
At the top of the building that got hit?
Yeah. Top of the building. They could have reinforced the position. They had Marine fast teams, which are teams dedicated for embassy security. They're like quick reaction.
So that's their job.
That's their sole purpose in life is for quick reaction.
And we didn't use them because?
They were told to hold up in Rota, Spain.
That place sucked.
2 Marine fast teams, and they all got itchy trigger fingers because they're finally going to get some real world action.
The fast team is actually a platoon, or I think it's a platoon and a half of guys. Mm-hmm. It's a platoon plus.
They were held up in Rota, Spain, and then when we were told to stand down, they had to turn around and go back.
Because I looked at a lot of that shit, right? Mm-hmm. And literally, if I was running the show and I landed on there and I had 3 platoons of grunts, I would eat their fucking lunch.
Well, just like
I literally, I mean, I'd have gun trucks, the Carl Gustavs, the AT-4s, maybe a couple tows, and I would have bound.
Well, look at Black Hawk Down.
Well, the thing is,
what year was Black Hawk Down?
Oh God,
93.
90 something. Yeah.
What country?
Somalia.
Okay, it was Somalia. That was just one company of Rangers that held off an entire city. Entire city. And the body count was
insane. Insane.
Yeah.
Like, this is one of my sayings. If you are such an unfortunate motherfucker that one day you get up in the morning and you have a battalion of airborne Rangers in your backyard, get ready to write off an entire division of whatever you throw against them, because that's what's going to take.
Nothing's more dangerous than a leaderless grunt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Grunts are good.
Trust me, because the concept in the 425, so let's digress. The concept in the 425 was, okay, you're Joe Snuffy Private. We're going to train you to be a leader. Why? What if I die? What if he dies? And you're the last man to carry through with the mission. You're going to know this map. You're going to know how the job's done. You're going to go through everybody's, what we do in each position. you are going to be a leader. So it went back to the old Ranger Battalion concept, okay, of everybody's a leader, and when it's your time to shine, you better perform.
No. It goes back to the Ranger Creed, though I should be the lone survivor.
Exactly.
That's in the Ranger
This is
Creed.
in the Ranger Creed. So already you're mylinating these young men to be a leader, okay? And does that, maybe perhaps that puts some stress on the shoulders? Like we had this one E2 brief the pilots on air routes and false insertions for the helos. And these pilots are looking like, this guy's an E2 and he's briefing us on air routes. Yeah, just go with that, Frank. Okay.
All right, now question.
Yeah.
What's the colonel that was running your
Colonel Morlock, hell of a guy.
Fullbird?
Yes.
Okay, Fullbird. So he's retired now. It's been 9 years.
Yeah, it's got to be. He's got to be somewhere. He must be retired. But it's been 9 years.
Well, because I'm going to be honest. If he wasn't retired, when we searched his name, he'd be at the Pentagon by now, and he's not there. So he's retired. Do you know who the 1-star and the 2-star were?
No, I didn't get to interact with the 2-star too often. The white cell, as we call them. He had his plate full, so he pretty much had his staff running interception. But Colonel Morlock, this is the way he did things. He let his people run their sections, and he pretty much wasn't the overlord. He let things run. So the course of pretty much nature took its course in the operations, and data was being pushed to him constantly. The man was always carrying a bundle of printed.
I mean, that's when you're the head the head honcho. You literally, that's all you do is look at paperwork.
You know, he was in briefing after briefing, so it was hard to get a hold of him. And I remember one time I was called to say Major Hand wasn't around, so they didn't have an officer to go to the big boy brief downstairs. That's the G2 staff brief. Okay.
Now explain to everyone what G2 is.
It's a 2-star general's briefing and his staff.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like, I don't know where Major Hand is. You're it.
Yeah.
Grab your notes. Well, I can't take my notes through a non-secure area. Well, you got a brain, use it. So we go downstairs to the brief. Now, my eyes kind of open up a little bit wider because not the general's 2-star team, you had a Fullbird colonel. He was pretty much carrying on with the tasking. What's this? Give me the data. I need info. So a lot of information's and everybody, and you sit up in kind of like a theater seating. And you have the 2-star, and you have the G2 table with the staff. And you have these younger officers there, which were, I don't know if they in some way were like a public relations element of the G2 staff. The first thing.
What rank were they? Captain?
Captain.
They're useless.
Yes.
That's like a PFC
So,
in general world.
This captain, she says, wait a minute. And interrupt the colonel. Wait a minute.
Okay.
We got to think about the dead baby maker machine here first. Now, I saw this colonel look at this young captain with if he could kill with his eyes.
Well, first of all, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
If I have to make the decision to save American lives
Yeah.
or have a bunch of dead babies,
Yeah.
I'm killing the babies.
So everybody knows that the Benghazi incident happened at the time of the primary elections for Obama's next tenure in office. So this was just all one big, image-saving event for Obama because this was an utter, complete failure on our state. Now, I'm putting this on the State Department, not on the United States Air Force, not on the Marine Corps, or not on...
All right, now correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
Does the State Department command the military?
No.
Okay. That's why I'm saying that 2-star should have fell on a sword, executed the fucking mission, told the State Department to fuck off. I'm retiring.
Yeah.
Boom.
Well, General Ham
See, now I'm getting fucking spun up. God damn it.
General Ham put SF boots on the ground and was relieved in an instant. So you all knew this was just, after that, it was just a big fucking sham. Okay. My heart sunk.
Because you know those people were fucked.
Yeah, you just got to continue the mission. And so at the end of all of this, the most embarrassing thing. The Libyan Air Force flies our people out.
And what do you think happened to that ambassador who was killed supposedly by smoke inhalation?
Oh, no.
No. Because
I
read the paper
Yeah.
that was printed in Turkey and some of the other Islamic countries the very next day. That guy was raped and killed.
He was tortured.
And, well, tortured.
Yes.
Rape is built into the torture thing.
Yes. The rape is a show of dominance in that particular culture.
Yeah.
So
That just makes my skin
you
crawl.
can read Lawrence of Arabia's book because
I've read it. Yeah, it's shameful.
Because when he was doing his dissertation and he did the research on the Templar castles throughout the Middle East, and he says in his own book he was captured, raped, and imprisoned by various Bedouin tribes throughout.
Yep.
You know but he just kept on going. Then the British military decided to bring him in because he was the best asset on the ground at the time.
Asset.
You know,
So
but
in your
it's been a while
opinion-
since I read the book.
In your opinion,
Yes.
you think the State Department or somebody up there pulled the plug on everything?
That order had to come from the president.
Okay.
That order had to come from
I'm
the
going to be
president.
honest, bro.
Yeah.
How many times have you been with me where we're getting orders over the radio? I'm like, oh, say again. You're coming in broken. Say, your comms don't work.
Yeah.
You execute the mission, and then you just say, I'm sorry. I didn't get that order in time.
What, Blake, you remember that one movie, Spies Like Us, with Chevy Chase, when he was given that press brief? And he's like, lunchtime. That was the concept we would use in the 425.
If only
I've
Chevy
actually-
Chase was as likable in real life.
So
as
it
he
was
is
like-
on screen.
So in the event, it's like this. This is Lima 4, Quebec. And you would hear the cross chatter. It's like, and they'd give us, you're breaking up, Sagan. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and then it was like, and they'd call us back over the radio. We're suffering.
So,
And then
I
it'd
mean,
be just dead silence, like the battery went dead.
in my opinion, Benghazi was the dress rehearsal for the magnitude of fuck up that took place in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you currently look at it, Obama was in office. I'm going to put it on his shoulders.
Yeah.
Now Biden's in office and Afghanistan. Now, Afghanistan builds nothing. But they have a shit ton of opium fields and an untouched lithium deposit.
Yeah, that's not just that. All the rare earth minerals.
Yes.
And they actually have a war season.
Yes.
I mean,
times.
what the fuck is that? Like literally.
Like we have football season, hockey, they have war season.
Yeah, and they fight with everyone.
All but the times of Ramadan.
Of course.
Nobody fights during Ramadan.
Well, we do.
Yeah, we do.
We bomb a lot of those motherfuckers.
Well, you
when
know,
they're
like
doing
George
that.
Washington crossing the Delaware on Christmas.
Yeah, fuck it. We'll fuck you up. I don't give a fuck.
Like
All
I
right.
said, coming from the South, we'll kick your ass and then we'll pray for you.
Yeah. All right, what do you want to touch on next?
I do want to jump to this one just because I want to get your guys' reaction on
Okay.
it. This came up today, and holy shit, if it doesn't get you spun up, nothing will. Suicides in the U.S. Army are up 46% in 2021 alone under Surrender Joe, #Biden effect.
Oh my God.
And you're already talking about one of the largest groups for self-deletion per capita.
Yeah,
Look
Out
at the
there.
current administration's senior leadership.
I know.
Senior
Okay.
citizen leadership.
Yeah, and you know what? Even like I can guarantee you, the majority of the leaders that are left in the military are nothing but toxic. Those guys suck. That's another reason why I cannot work a job with a whip cracker again. I just can't do it. I will fucking snap. I'll go to prison. It'll be ugly.
Well, how long you been out?
Since 2018.
Okay, so now you're on the outside looking in. So the fog's lifted.
Yes.
But you also understand and see the internal workings of our current military.
Correct.
All right. Granted, I don't get myself involved in the circles of the Air Force. I may stay in touch with a person here or there.
I still communicate with all kinds of guys.
Okay,
in the Army.
so you're still technically wired in. I'm not, because this would just piss me off. And now with the current climate in the military, do they still do climate surveys to check on where a soldier is currently at mentally? Okay.
I have no idea.
Because how many climate surveys did they push onto your desk?
Command climate surveys, we pretty much did one a year. That's regulation. And then occasionally there was another one if there was something crazy going on.
Okay, so military times, would they express anything negative about climate surveys while you were in?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I could FOIA that stuff through the IG after the fact.
Yeah.
Which I did.
So it's all an AP wash.
Yeah.
Now, current media, we fast forward. Do we hear anything about climate surveys in the military?
You're not
right
going to
now?
hear shit.
No, we don't hear a damn thing.
Listen, I got feelers out. I'm trying to get the retention numbers
Yeah.
for the military, mainly the Army. And then from that, I can elaborate into the other services. Because the Marines have shitty retention. They always have. That's why they spend.
You said it's a meat grinder.
Well, it's a meat grinder. They spend 30% of their budget just on fucking TV commercials. Because they got to keep putting the meat in there.
Yeah.
And it's not the meat you get after a party, after you drank too much and you take a woman out back to bend her over the dumb cumster.
Yeah. Understanding that, when we joined the military back in the 80s, it was a peacetime military, and we were so entrenched in the training mindset.
Yeah.
Panama kicks off, December of 89. Changes the game a little bit. Oh, okay, fine. Desert Storm rolls around. We're all going to the desert. And I remember the climate back then because you had officers.
There was a lot of pissed off motherfuckers because they lost their ass.
A lot of young officers who couldn't get their heads out of the training mindset. But when I was back active duty from 88, you had a lot of these old Vietnam war horses.
Yeah.
And they say, sir, we're not in that environment anymore. You have to think differently. And then dick measuring ensues, and then the old Vietnam vet's like, you know what, sir? Fuck it. You're going to get these men killed.
Yeah, and I've had that argument with quite a few officers.
All right, so you clearly see what these officers. Now, I don't know what goes on in their world, especially on the Army side. Air Force side, I got to see a bit more. Especially, hence the guys with the 30-pound brains. So yeah. I had to catch up, so eventually the 30-pound brain, and I'm still working out of a 20-pound bag.
All right, so let's talk about the suicide thing.
Okay.
All right, so the suicide problems in the military have pretty much been off the hook since the war started. All right. Now, I almost fell victim to that myself.
Okay.
Yeah. And literally, that's all I do. I have a nonprofit. I educate people in regards to the downfalls of marriage, the impact of feminism, and I try to keep guys from blowing the back of their head out.
Yeah.
Okay, because listen, when you expose your thinking meat to the air, it's usually fatal.
Yeah, you've lost all internal pressure. You're done.
Yeah, you're done. Your blood pressure goes to zero, and then you go to the lobby, and then they yell at you for it. But anyway, that's what I do. And up to date, I mean, we're up to what? I'm 391 guys that have come forward and said that they have kept from blowing the back of their head off because of watching my show. And listen, you and I have froze. We've starved. We've faced terror. We did all kinds of crazy ass shit. And what is the main thing that made us navigate all of that shit and kept us sane? A sense of humor.
Oh gosh, yes.
Because you cannot.
It was our way of processing the pain.
Yeah, but the thing is a lot of these guys get out of the service and they forget this sense of humor. Yeah. And then the pressures of life and all of the bullshit that goes along.
Look at the current cancel culture. None of that existed when we were expressing that darker side of the humor that we ventilated our pain through humor.
As far as I'm concerned, fuck cancel culture.
Exactly. But yet these service members are having to deal with it. Because in the 425, I mean, if it wasn't for a specific individual, if you know who I'm talking about, if he could trot around that damn squadron in just a set of tighty whities in his boots, he'd do it.
Yeah. Well, you know what? He got his ass kicked down the road. So
yeah.
Let's put that, karma's a bitch.
It is a bitch. But back then, we could ventilate our frustrations through humor.
But my thing is this. They still have the humor.
Yeah.
But these guys get off active duty, they go to the civilian world, and they forget it.
Yeah.
And it's fatal.
Well, they don't. I don't know what I can't necessarily put a number or necessarily describe the level of camaraderie in the service, but we've been able to retain ours for 20 years or plus.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what's happening today that we're missing something with these young soldiers?
Yeah.
We're missing something because they're not only are they thrown into a stressful environment in
they're
whatever
they're not being
tasked with.
trained to
Yes.
handle the situation.
Uh-huh.
They're not being mentally toughened. Okay, because listen, you come back from some crazy ass shit, and they haven't gone through the steps to like toughen your mind.
Yeah,
it's gonna eat you alive.
Well, yeah, we've had those phone conversations like, "Hey, how you doing? I'm fine. Look, I'm going back to bed. All right."
Yeah.
So, I don't know what the current climate is because it's frightening. And
Well, the thing is, a 50% increase in suicides that were already off the hook.
But then again, we weren't bombarded with all of this leftist culture of wokeism while we were in.
I know.
None of that ever existed.
Well, it was there, but it wasn't in the. It had not filtered down.
We knew our boundaries.
Well, it didn't filter down into the infantry.
No, but we still knew our boundaries.
Yes.
Okay, we did. Did we do a lot of goofy shit? Oh yeah.
You got to break up the monotony.
Yes.
Even if some people have to cry about it, I don't care.
Well, I remember the time in Grayling.
No, hang on. We don't have time for that. We're coming up on the end here.
Okay.
So we have to.
We haven't even talked about Vegas yet.
Yeah, we
guys.
have to hit Vegas now.
Well, I got an evil genius story.
One
about
story,
Popp.
and then we're going to go to Vegas.
All right. This is an evil genius story that I was directly exposed to by yours truly.
Mm-hmm.
He gives me a call, says, "Come on over." Like, okay, I show up. You're sitting in the back room. That's when you were married to it. And and you say, "Hey, there's a box in the kitchen. Don't fuck with the glass. Just looking at it, and then let's go." Okay, so I said, "What's going on?" He goes, "Don't worry about it." We're driving. You park, and you say you recognize that Camaro, and I'm like, "Yeah, it looks familiar." And he goes, "Yeah, that's your ex's new boyfriend's Camaro. Here's a set of binoculars." Like, okay, all right, okay. Okay. This is what I need you to do. See that bottle? That's cadaverine. See that needle? Don't get it on you.
Oh, yeah, this is a good one.
The shit sticks and it doesn't go away. What you're going to do is you're going to take that needle, you're going to penetrate the T-tops, and you're going to inject that shit in the car, and we're going to let it soak during the night.
Well, we don't have to do anything once you inject it.
No. So, and he
For
goes,
those of
and
you that don't know what cadaverine is, they use it to train cadaver dogs to find dead bodies.
Yep.
So it smells like putrefied, rotten meat.
yes. So
It's awesome.
all of the hell that my ex put me through, and I just decided to let it go, but not this guy. It's like, all right, I go through with the stupid plan, and he goes, okay, there's a sewer drain, but just maybe a few feet, dump everything down there, forget about it, and I'll pick you up 2 blocks down the road, and then we're going to circle back. And we're going to wait. So we waited. We see them come out. Summertime, Michigan. As soon as they opened the car doors, he started puking. He literally was a William Dafoe in Platoon, just spewing puke. While she had this long blonde hair, and she was puking so much she couldn't keep her hair out of her own vomit.
Nice.
So, and he's like, "We're done here. Never mention this again." And we drove off and we had pizza.
Yeah, I remember that. That was a good day. That was a good day.
That's to his audience. That's his evil geniusness. So I don't know. Do you still hold on to your book of grudges?
I've actually.
Did you let it go?
No. There's a few people that are still on the beat on site list, but I had to really take a lot.
Beat
of
on
people.
site never goes away.
No, there's a lot of people that are on the grudge list that are gone. I just can't live like that. There's a few that
I got an old first sergeant from Italy that.
Hang on, we got to hit the.
Okay, let's go.
The Vegas thing.
We all have a fuck ton of super chats as well.
All right, so this
we'll
might be
hit
a late
those
night.
first. Yeah, it might be a late night because I did get a request on Tuesday to also review the movie that I got to see Tuesday night. At this rate, we may not even get to that.
Sorry,
you
man.
guys can talk fucking circles around a platoon of wagons.
Hey, that's what happens when you get old vets get together, man. It's like no time passed, and they just talk
I
about old
understand.
time.
Trying to see where the hell we left off.
All right.
Keith Harney, our photographer with a 1999 donation, as a 325 Air Paratrooper, loved C-130, drops over C-141. Never a fan of the entitled riggers.
All right.
Oh, gosh, it's good. It's not going to end.
Nope.
It's not going to end.
Rig it, please.
Yes.
The enlightened Mr. Peabody. Should I try to dominate the skinny, dorky girl who stares at me at my apartment complex? I will put her to work.
You go to jail. Leave her alone.
Yes.
It's going to turn her into a rigger.
There are laws against that.
There are. Well, I mean, unless she likes it.
Hey,
Her call.
we've already covered this. It'll be
Yeah,
out
it's
this weekend.
not
A good idea, Fairy.
That is a good idea. Slap me, choke me, rough me up. No. I respectfully decline. Space Ghost is on. Just sending women out in the world with truckloads of physical evidence that can be dissected by a forensics lab. It's a bad idea.
Yep.
Just saying. Hashtag Bruce Koala Killer. Friendly Geordies defeated the NSW government. Both Gladys and Barilaro had to quit out of politics totally due to his investigative journalism. He beat the state.
Is this what, in Australia?
Yeah, I think it's Australia.
Didn't the Prime Minister of Australia resign?
I don't know. Well, listen, we'll get to that. We got to get through this here.
Yeah, fuck him.
Relevant.
Robert Anderson with a $25 donation. Thank you very much, good sir. According to Joe Biden, I guess I'm not a rigger. Never ends, man. Keep it coming, man. The rigger jokes are great. 30 seconds out. This channel is better than therapy.
Amen.
AF. We don't have to succeed. We just need to declare income tax sanctuaries. I think they call those offshore bank accounts.
We already did a show on don't pay your taxes.
Yeah, fuck it.
Yep.
If there's no law that actually says you have to, they'll just send the IRS and a SWAT team to your house.
No. If everyone quits paying taxes for 2 years, it's over.
Over.
Everything collapses, and then it'll be what it is. It'll be what it is.
Meximan and cheese. Why do they think using the National Guard to cover medical staff is going to work?
It's not.
Most of those guardsmen are already working in hospitals in their own towns.
That's absolutely correct.
Yep.
So you're going to necessarily deplete the staffing of one hospital to
Fill another. Yeah.
It's all to further the narrative. Isn't that great, though? I mean, we've got doctors now refusing to treat sick patients. I mean, way to just honor that Hippocratic oath. And then all the same people that we were supposed to think are heroes, beatific saints, wonderful individuals, despite the fact they were proving that hospitals were not overrun by doing their stupid TikTok videos. Now all those same people are fucking scumbags. Kick them out.
Welcome to the life of a grunt.
Yep.
You're given all the thanks and praise. Thank you for your service. And then, boom, you're the villain. Yeah.
That's right.
You're the villain.
Expendable.
Yes.
Somebody should just meme, take that poster from that movie, The Expendables, and just put a bunch of healthcare workers in there.
Oh, that'd be good.
It's not going to be before long. Nursing's going to become starting up in trade schools.
I hope it does.
Yeah. It would eliminate a lot of the fluff and revenue generating courses that they
Fuck yeah. I mean, we already did a show on college. We'll talk about it off.
Aaron Clary wrote a whole book on it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it, off the show. But
That's fine.
you'll love that shit.
Kevin Reha, great show, guys. Keep up the good work, and thank you for the $20 donation, good sir.
Amen.
Oh, excuse me, Skyshark 425. Reha! Talking about the guy above him, I guess. Should I know who Kevin Reha is?
Kevin Rhea?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in the 425.
Okay, I have no idea.
Oh, Rhea? That's Rhea?
Yeah.
Oh, Rhea.
Rhea was...
Rhea, it's Reha. That's how it's spelled, so I just...
Rhea's a good kid.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Okay, just making sure.
All right.
It's like people ask us all the time. It's like, yeah, you guys, you need to have this content creator on your show, and we're both like, who the fuck's that?
Well, one, I'm bad with names.
Oh, yeah, I know that too.
Oh,
Brain damage.
Yeah.
That's what happens. You want some Starburst?
No, I'm good.
Okay, just making sure.
You nasty bastard.
It tastes like vaginal cysts.
Oh, God damn it! Stop!
Speaking of which, we had a guy in the chat pop up talking about how apparently a buddy of his was tagging a woman from behind, not in the dumb cumster, but in the bum dumpster. And apparently he got there was a whole bunch of blood on it. When he was done, it turns out he burst a whole bunch of herpes cysts.
I knew a guy in the 425. There's a story about that.
Yeah, we can't go over
We'll
it now. We've been going. We've been saying a bunch. We could go. We could literally do 10 shows of stories.
We probably could.
Yes.
Yeah.
Irish lover, 77, 45, 26 years in the USMC with PTSD, a lost eye, and a failed marriage. Dude, tough life.
So he got
Terminal demotion to E7 from E9.
Ooh, you really fucked up then.
Ooh. Because you lost your eye?
No,
You didn't see that one
listen.
coming? I'm sorry.
You got a socket blink job.
Surprise glaucoma test.
Yeah, but typically you get busted from E9 to E7, your career's over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're done. Pack it up.
Yeah.
Sorry, brother. K to the Swiss. More war stories on Alt Tech, please. I don't know. At this rate, we may not be able to make it to Alt Tech.
I don't think we are.
We'll see what happens. JMV 290. Pop, we need more shows with old grunt buddies.
Well, I'll get some in here. We'll see what's up.
It all depends. I mean, like, you're here from where, Rumor? From Louisiana or something
Yeah.
like that? Yeah. So
Yeah,
Yeah, I was a Michigan native for a while, and then
you retired.
met the wife. Retired from corrections. Met the wife in
Yeah, yeah.
Ohio, and then
So-
she was a COVID reduction in force, and so she picked up a medical lab director's position down at a hospital in Louisiana.
All right. Well, I'm coming down there to visit you, bro. So
Okay.
we're doing a crawdad broil. I need to have some of that shit.
if you're allowed, because, apparently New Orleans is one of those cities that signed COVID passports
Well,
into.
Well, I live. I'm on the North Shore, and just east of me is the Pearl River, and there's a bunch of old bayou boys that I go shoot with. Okay?
And they don't give
Nice.
a fuck.
No, they don't.
Good.
All right, let's get
Fuck 'em.
on. Let's finish these.
Crimson Hawk. Can we make a Pop Preppers Army? Pop fans or Pop P fans, I don't know, Pop
Now-
fans get together once a month and talk about Shiata.
Well, okay. I can do Pops Preppers. The minute I put Army behind that, people get upset.
Yeah, then you wind up on Facebook's little naughty list.
Yeah, yeah. Well, so we'll stay away from. I'm not raising an army. I'm just teaching people how to get the fuck out of Dodge and protect their families. That's it.
Damn right. We have over 1,000 people watching the show. Thank
God
you all very
damn,
much for
that's-
tuning in.
Over 100,000 people.
No,
1,000.
1,000.
Oh, 1,000.
1,000's good numbers. For me.
1,000's good.
If we had 100,000 people watching, this show would be completely fucking different.
We would actually have a studio. We wouldn't be in my
We'd
house.
drive someplace.
We wouldn't be in Blake's basement. Would we actually have a couch? Maybe.
There'd be a couch or
Dude,
something, yeah.
When do you bring the hot chick on?
The casting couch.
Listen, I'm done with that craziness. That doesn't go anywhere good.
No,
it
it
doesn't.
doesn't.
Never does.
That's how you get fucked figuratively and literally.
Yeah.
Heavy water tread. My 84-year-old grandma told her nursing home Biden voters are going to hell. I love taking her to lunch and watching the libs get offended. God bless my grandma.
Let her watch my videos.
Fuck yeah, man.
She sounds like a good woman.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure she's a rigger lover.
Yeah.
What? What'd I say?
That's so fucked up. All right.
I introduced one word.
We're going to get banned.
Yeah, I guess.
It's just because of what it rhymes with, Brand.
That's a memo.
Okay.
Robert Anderson. Great show as always, gents. $15 donation. Thank you so much. America the Free with a $22.30 donation.
223?
FBI is working for the DS
Correct.
and giving you a bunch of DP.
With no TP.
Sucks, man. We're fucked. Ohio trucker, I win. Dad passed out drunk. Yeah. Was that before or after the herpes cysts exploding on the dude's cock? I'm just asking for a friend.
That is some nightmare fuel band. Oh, you bastard! I got to write that in there, nightmare fuel.
Ugh. Breaking herpes cysts with your ding dong and
No, herpes cis lube.
Hershey Highway.
Hershey. Oh. Where's nightmare fuel?
The imagery is disgusting.
It really
is.
It's terrible. 30 seconds out. Pop, when do you predict that things will kick off?
Listen, it's. I've been saying it all along. When you can't feed your family, when you can't put gas in your car, you can't heat your house, shit's gonna fucking get real. We're having a lot of people willingly leave their jobs because of this fucking mandate horse shit.
Millions.
Millions.
Literally.
It's not good. It's not good.
And all over an executive order that the fucking demented piece of shit didn't even sign. So it literally has no teeth whatsoever.
So it's a suggestion.
It's literally just because he knows, or at least the people who are, pulling the strings in control of him know, that if he were to sign such a thing, he would get a Supreme Court cock smackdown, the likes of which the previous two that he's already gotten in less than a year in office.
What's Brandon's current approval rating? Below 40%?
38%.
And that's
Lowest of any.
And that's a sampling of plus 5 Dem.
Now, is that the lowest of any U.S. president currently?
I don't think Trump ever got that low.
Or did Jimmy Carter get lower?
no, he's the lowest.
But don't forget, everybody, don't forget, 81 million votes, most popular president ever, able to tank to under 40% approval in less than a year.
Well, Maricopa County really opened up.
Oh, hang on.
No, we can't talk about that.
We can't go into that right now.
We're on YouTube, bro.
We're on YouTube, yeah.
Yeah, if you talk about the 2020 election or the poke,
You're in trouble.
you're fucked.
Yeah, we can't talk about it here. So let's not do that.
Wow.
I mean, the First Amendment, just like apparently the little mandate, just a suggestion in this administration.
Correct.
And on this stunning and brave, amazing, please don't ban us, big tech fuckholes. Fuck you, Susan, you fucking piece of shit.
Nice.
You got to obfuscate your words.
Yep. Why do you think we say things like dumb cumster, rapé? We have to figure out a way to circumvent this utter horseshit.
Okay. Wow.
It sucks. It sucks harder than a fucking clown car full of come swallow a heels up, pull my Harris clones.
Oh my God! All right, next one.
That's a lot of man bazooka juice. That's a lot of spunk.
What about those actors she hired?
Yeah, we're actually.
After she was done with them, she sent them over to Joe for a good sniffing.
Well, actually, we're going to be covering a lot of that in another live stream coming up.
Yeah, it's terrible. Ohio Trekker 1, after 190 proof moonshine hit.
Oh yeah,
Dude, that's like one notch below gasoline.
dude.
It is gasoline.
No. I write about this in my novel. When you get the moonshine that's that high, it's instant Molotov cocktail. Just add your own sock.
Yes.
Pretty much. Holy
And
shit.
if you really want to put a spin on it, throw some dry laundry detergent in there.
That's when you wind up like you
A
go to
phosphate,
Yeah.
like a creamer. Oh yeah, it'll stick.
you mix that with some spicy food, you're going to be pissing and shitting battery acid.
I had a chief that his food couldn't come hot enough, and he actually took his CS spray to put it on his kimchi.
All right. Damn.
Fuck.
Fuck that.
Well,
Hey, hang on. We're gonna go on.
Yeah, we're going to get going.
We can't go off the rail here. We went off the rail for an hour.
JMV 290, rigger in the woodpile.
Damn.
darn.
Deploribus Rex, you guys should do a 10-session mini-series of grunt stories. You can call it Band of Riggers.
Yeah.
There's so many stories.
Oh, I bet there's a ton of them, man. That's hilarious. Oh, we're going to jump back in here. Oh, my gosh. Shark Dentures. Question. Who is the most allergic to accountability, women or politicians? Answer, Hillary Clinton, i.e. both.
Yes.
Yep. Shark Dentures. If you want to get Pop spun up, bring up how long it has been since anyone has brought up Afghanistan and the $85 billion in equipment. I guess it's all been fixed, right? Thanks, Brandon.
No. And actually, we're going to get down the road. There's going to be more shit that we're going to find out that was left behind.
Yeah. Gah.
Because what they're just showing on TV is nothing.
Nothing.
No. Jackal the Emperor with a 1968 donation. Higher up commanders should not be giving grunts orders unless they are on the ground, leading by example like Patton did. Political dick suckers shouldn't be promoted, only those who have proven they are competent in combat. Friggin' riggers.
Absolutely correct. And when I was leading troops, it was my personal opinion. You should not be leading troops if you can't do it by the front or by example. In a pinch, only one will do. I did both.
So you like it in the front and in
No,
the rear.
I led by the front. So listen, when the shit went down, I was like, follow me.
I have to give the
I
guy who put 4 king dongs in his mouth.
Oh, my
shit.
God.
I'm just saying.
All right.
Do the Pringle Dingle. I have to.
You shit one Pringles can and you're famous for it forever.
It is now officially a meme. You'll see it in the next video.
Nice.
The Pringle Dingle.
Or the word rigor.
Oh, yeah.
Rigor is going to be applied to a lot.
Shiver me riggers.
Nice.
Jimmy Bones. So I just jumped on my Insta twat waffle to check a message, and according to the Commie News Network, Slick Willie, a.k.a. Hold My Cigar, Bill Clinton, is in the hospital for sepsis.
Good.
If there is a God, well, I won't finish that sentence.
I hope he passes away of natural causes.
Natural cause. Just like all those people who, committed suicide by shooting themselves 48 times in the back of the head.
Twice.
The Vince Foster haircut.
Yeah. Twice in the back of the head, suicide.
That's got to be a world record for suicide. You managed 2 shots.
Listen, man, if I actually run the show, I'm going to run down all those deaths and all those coroners that labeled that stuff fucking suicide are going to fucking...
Oh, they're going to eat a
that.
dick.
They're going to pay for that shit. You don't lie.
No. Ken 599. I hear Pop's ex-wife loves taking multiple riggers in the same time.
Allegedly. You're going to get me fucking sued, bro.
He said allegedly in the chat, too.
Allegedly.
You're going to get me sued, bro. God. All right. We'll let you slide on that one.
Followed up by your ex-wife's favorite ex-boyfriend, Dick Almighty, with a $40 donation.
God, you guys are going to get me so fucking sued, man. Stop it.
A $40 donation. That's the biggest one of the night so far.
We're not worthy!
A pox upon the House of Clinton. Epstein didn't self-delete. The Clintons suicided him. And Hillary is a bull dyke. She probably puked the whole 5 seconds that it took for Bill to inseminate her with Chelsea.
No, I heard.
I actually got a 30-day ban on Facebook during the Jeffrey Epstein when he was in jail. Someone's about to be Clintoned.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened.
So.
No, the rumor has it that in her college days, she was a fucking yogurt slinging.
Oh.
Yeah. She was a prostitute and a half.
I never went to college.
Imagine how hard she puked when she actually saw Chelsea come out. You seen that woman?
Yeah, she's an ugly ass woman.
Ugh.
She's beyond homely.
Ugh. She's an insult to homely.
She's so homely, somebody hit her with home plate.
Aren't they grooming her for a potential position?
No,
Fuck
I hope
that.
not, because that's not going to go.
That's not going to happen. Kuro Ninja 00. There was a guy that was on the Clintons' presidential detail said that Mrs. Clinton was a huge cunt.
Yep.
Abused the White House staff and security, and she smelled like extremely rotten fish. Well, that was just the Gwyneth Paltrow candles.
This is getting deep.
Balls deep. Ken 599. So if an airman was in the honeypot with a dickhead pilot decides to go inverted, when he emerges from the honeypot covered in his own shit, does that mean he is in rigger phase?
You go inverted on a C-130, you're dead.
You're going down. Yeah, that thing does
And
not.
not in a good way.
Just remember, you always have enough fuel to the crash site.
Yeah.
Woo!
I like
Ballistic
that.
Zero with a $25 donation. Thank you so much, good sir. Currently having another guy go through the vids. Recently divorced. The poor ranger has to work a part-time in pizzeria just to pay for all the support for to a former single mom with 3 kids that are not his. Hopefully we'll be saved. Number 390 soon. Actually, it'd be 391.
We're at 391 now.
Yeah, so it'd be 392.
Yeah.
Also, having to put all my computer stuff in a CD at the moment. Why can't the Army let us use USBs?
Oh,
That's a huge security risk.
That came out in 2008.
Yeah, that was a huge. You can't use the USB.
That was a huge security breach.
Really?
Yeah.
With the flash drives?
Yes.
Yes, it was.
Fascinating.
I literally, I was S2 at the time, and I had to literally yell at people to not use their fucking thumb drives.
Whew.
Yeah, it was ugly.
All right. Ballistic Zero again, and we'll tape that CD on your forehead so you can see D's nuts. Oh, it's good times, good times. So everybody remembers Vegas,
All right,
right?
for those of you that don't remember, 4 years back, it was the largest mass execution done on American soil since
Literally ever.
the first Civil War.
To date, it is the largest mass shooting on this country's soil that has ever happened.
Now, let's look. During the Civil War, there was a lot of mass.
Oh, I'm sure, but like according to their BS metric of mass shooting.
In modern times, yes.
My buddy Tom would also add a few points to this discussion as well too. Fringe conspiracy, but Tom's a good guy. You know the Tom I'm
he's a
talking
good guy,
about.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we're going to get into some of the facts.
Yeah.
Of course, they'll be called a conspiracy theory by people who are idiots and don't bother to ask questions like, if this is the largest mass shooting that's ever happened on our country's soil, and this is now 4 years old, And we still don't know what happened, why, who all was involved, and the media doesn't seem to care.
Yeah, who, what, why, when,
They
and
probably don't want you asking those questions.
Yeah.
Just also remember, you have a slew, an army of blue-haired trigger monkeys that are going to try to debunk everything you say.
I don't
Yeah,
care.
fuck them.
I don't give a shit.
Fuck them in the asshole with
That's
a
fine.
big rubber dick.
Listen, it is what it is.
Yeah.
We have some of the footage here.
Let's do it. All right, so you're a grunt. You tune your ears to this.
Yeah.
Hang on. They switch this over.
You fucking with it? You fucking-
Nah, I'm not fucking anything. I think fix this up here. There we go.
Get off your legs! I can't.
Okay, come on, get up.
Yeah, I suppose a disclaimer. It's not really disturbing footage. It's literally just sound effects and people panicking.
I'm just listening for the sounds.
There's two.
Yeah, that's multiple guns.
That's multiple gunfire.
That's
yes.
talking machine guns.
Yeah. So what he's saying is that you're having a coordination of fire.
Yeah. Now, remember, this is supposed to be a lone gunman, and he was supposed to be a far-right extremist, despite the fact that virtually every single person who died that day was basically a verifiable Trump supporter.
Yes.
No weapon can cyclic that fast unless it's a
No,
much more powerful platform. We're talking minigun.
Yeah. No. That's not a minigun.
Well, it's not a minigun. No, it's not what I'm saying. It's just that what you said earlier, that that's coordinated gunfire.
Yes, it's talking guns.
Talking
Yep.
guns.
There's one here specifically. We'll bring it up here. Now, I'm going to pause this
See,
here.
I don't understand why they shut those fucking lights off.
I don't know.
God damn it.
If you
Nothing like
Pull this
illuminating
over.
the kill box. huh?
Yeah.
roughly about the 150 mark.
All right, yeah.
Now, there are people who, after this, like, well, it's what you're hearing is just an echo.
No.
It's not actually two guns firing at the same time. Listen to this, and then tell me when you think those people are full of shit. Wait for it.
Okay. That's a 5.56. The other one was a 30 cal. See how slow it's firing? Look, echoes
It's like,
don't
oh,
slow
yeah,
down.
Yeah, literally, there's nothing, and then you hear the gun start to fire, and then the other one overlaps right on top of it. Oh, it's just an echo, and yet you can clearly tell that it's physically closer
You have a
to the
larger-
microphone.
No,
Yeah,
but you
larger
have two
caliber.
different tempos. The 30 cal
That too,
machine
yeah.
guns fires a little bit slower than the 5.56 machine gun.
Yeah.
Yep.
Those things fire fucking fast.
Yeah, the cyclic rates on a 249 you can adjust as well as. It's been a long time since I got. To
When
mess
I
with
was a
any
saw
platform.
gunner, I used to turn my shit up to Vulcan.
Yeah,
All right.
And of course, you know that there's people have actually done forensic analysis of this. Let's take a look.
We have confirmation through this acoustic forensic analysis method that there is a shooter at 425 to 450 yards. Shooter number 2 appears throughout the audio files, and shooter number 2 has a lag time of 0.374 seconds. 0.374 is between here and here, so it's between 200 and 300 yards. So we have a second shooter.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I called it from the very beginning as soon as I heard it.
I did the same thing. As soon as I heard that second video, where you can clearly hear something that's much farther off in the distance, and then something far closer with a totally different tempo coming in right over top of it, like there's no way in hell that's an echo. And you have to be fucking retarded to actually say that and expect people to take you seriously.
Yep.
It's hilarious. And then,
bullshit.
of course, like us, lone gunman, right?
Yeah.
Let's just totally forget about this.
Can you tell us anything more about them, what they look like? Why were they escorted out? Were they escorted out because you were feeling uncomfortable about what they said?
Yes, because she had been messing with the lady in front of her and telling her that she was going to die, that we were all going to die. So they escorted her out to make her stop messing around with all the other people in front of them, but none of us knew that it was going to be serious.
The real deal.
Yep. Yeah, totally lone gunman. Yeah, so we don't need to ask any more questions, right? Oh my gosh! Just like we didn't need to ask questions about Benghazi, we don't need to ask questions about this. The narrative is whatever we tell you it is.
Yeah. Fuck that. Listen, 33 years. All right. 20 some odd years in the infantry and special ops. I fired all kinds of shit. I've done ambushes. I've been at, a movement of contacts. I've done the talking machine guns between,
and close air support.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those are two different weapons.
Yep.
Two different cadences.
Close air support's a bit more intense, but you're right. You can clearly hear the distinctive sounds of two different weapon systems engaging in the zone. Lights are on, nothing like illuminating the target. You're going to see the rats leaving the seeking ship, and it's just fish in a barrel at that point.
Yep.
Now, naturally, acoustics may be different. Some say they were at an elevated position, but this was clearly on the ground.
Yep.
This was on the ground.
Yeah. Even if you do buy the echo thing,
No.
it doesn't change the tempo.
We've both been in urban environments. We've both have. We know what the zip, the buzz, and the cyclic rates are
different.
Yes.
And they're like, oh, he had a bump trigger or bump stock on some M16. Get the fuck out of here.
It's
only somebody who's never fired a gun would say that.
That was listen. I've fired the bump stocks. They're damn cool.
Mm-hmm.
I got it, and we had the 90 round magazine. I couldn't get through the whole magazine on like one pull.
Yeah.
You had to get it just right for it to work.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. What you heard there, these long strings of fire, that's a belt-fed machine gun. That's
Now,
the only way you can get that to happen.
If you want to go back through it and time the rate fire of burst, 6 to 9 round burst, 6 to 9 round burst.
That's military.
Yes.
Well, some of them were buzzaways, but yeah, I got you.
Regardless, there was discipline there.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, another thing too, they said, okay, it's just one guy. He's only firing from one hotel room at the Mandalay Bay.
What did he John Wayne it from the hip with
but
two?
There's a photo that most people have completely forgotten about that shows not one, but what appears to be 4 different hotel rooms with windows shot out that are at least 10 stories up.
Wow.
We're just going to totally forget about that.
I didn't hear about that.
And the media is not going to show you this because they sure as hell didn't. This article is now over 3 years old, and not a single reporting agency that I was able to find outside of this reported on it.
Oh, fuck.
FBI insiders blow whistle on massive Las Vegas cover-up. Agents told not to investigate key evidence, including ISIS terror link to Mandalay Bay massacre.
Wow.
Let's just go through the bullet points because they are frightening. When FBI brass was provided with forensic evidence of multiple gunmen, they told agents to stand down and focus on Paddock only. Even a key internal audio captured by a hotel guest of multiple rifles firing from the Mandalay Bay went ignored and covered up.
Correct.
That's one. FBI brass was provided the names of persons of interest who likely assisted Paddock. Agents were instructed not to interview the individuals. The one would-be target was never pursued despite pleadings from intelligence officials and agents that he was possibly the second shooter.
Wow.
The FBI uncovered specific evidence showing that Paddock was anti-Trump and had an affiliation with Antifa, though it was never divulged to the public and agents did not follow such leads per orders of their superiors.
Wow.
When FBI brass was given evidence that the shooting was possibly linked to Antifa radicals working with an ISIS-linked terror faction, including the full identities of some of the suspects with ties to both radical groups at or near Mandalay Bay the night of the shooting, agents were never instructed to follow up on the investigation and pursue the suspects.
I would like to get my hands on that list.
Me too. Yeah. When intelligence officials approached the FBI and LVMPD with external evidence that Paddock was only one member of an organized terror cell, which included as many as 5 gunmen who planned to fire from the Mandalay Bay suite. How many holes did I say were in the side of the hotel?
4.
4.
4 firing positions.
Pretty close, yeah. His autopsy report only details a single bullet to the head. Oh, no. FBI sources say Paddock suffered 2 gunshots, but his autopsy report only details a single bullet to the head. FBI sources maintain Paddock's autopsy was doctored and is a fraud, just like Epstein's.
Yes.
When an ISIS-linked businessman from Turkey, I think his name was Kringleberg Fuchtiback, was pinpointed in the investigation and found to be residing near Las Vegas at the time of the shooting, FBI agents were not instructed to follow up and pursue intelligence leads showing possible links to the massacre. FBI and intelligence officials believe Paddock and associates chose to strike the Las Vegas country music concert with over 22,000 people because they supported President Trump. FBI agents said they were instructed to keep that key motive quiet. Shocker.
You know what? I don't think I couldn't do it. I could not, in good faith, follow that order.
No.
If they're like, you don't investigate that, I'll be like, yeah, sure. And I would keep doing it. They'd have to fire me.
Yeah. See, this is an actual whistleblower, not the fake Facebook whistleblower.
Yeah, I know.
Which is clearly a glowy psyop.
Somebody with a moral base and some with ethics.
I couldn't do it. I could not, in good conscience.
There's 3 more, dude.
Let's do it, yeah.
All right.
When MGM refused to share CCTV footage from Mandalay Bay, FBI agents were threatened by superiors that any whistleblowers divulging such revelations to the media would lose their jobs. The FBI still has never been provided all the camera footage from the Mandalay Bay, FBI agents said.
Wow.
When FBI and Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms agents informed FBI bosses that Paddock didn't start buying dozens of guns until after Trump's election, they were told to keep that fact quiet and shrouded. Might have something to do with the fact that they were illegally investigating a sitting president. When FBI agents followed up on an ABC News report that Paddock wired $100,000 to the Philippines shortly before the rampage, they confirmed the report was untrue. Instead of disputing it, FBI bosses embraced the false story, saying it helped build the narrative the Bureau was constructing about Paddock. FBI agents believe the story was planted with ABC by their superiors.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Holy smoking Joe Frazier.
Yeah, I mean, this is horse shit. You know,
Yeah.
where are the fucking lawsuits against the fucking Mandalay Bay?
Where are all the fucking lawsuits against shit?
Look, if
The FBI.
If I had a family member that died in this fucking kerfuffle, I would not settle. I would fucking sue the fucking shit out of them.
Damn right.
Because when you settle, you have to sign, all these secrecy agreements. You take the money, you shut your mouth. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
As always, you are welcome to check these sources for yourself. Make up your own mind. There will be a complete list with archived sources on redonkulous.com after the stream. And we have over 1,100 people watching this right now.
Wow.
It's quite unfortunate that people can't make up their own minds because they're too lazy to do their own research.
Okay.
You're damn right.
I'm going to be honest with you. People thought for themselves a lot more when you had to go to the goddamn library to research subjects. Now that you have one of these, you have the Library of Congress at your fingertips, and people are lazier and, I wouldn't say stupider, but unwise and have no common sense than ever.
They're just comfortable and complacent. Because, I mean, why find out the truth? Or find out that, hey, you know what? Everything that I was taught by my Marxist teachers is a lie when I could, give myself a little, phone porn blumpkin while I'm taking a shit.
Nice.
And watch cat videos.
So stupid.
And share memes by the left because, the left can totally meme.
Well, it's funny. This coming from Goat Belly, we as Americans have the most access to the most knowledge, but yet we're still thirsting for information.
Because we're dumber than ever.
Because common sense is now so rare. It is a superpower.
Well, those who speak common sense, you have the alt-left, I'll say it, alt-left, and you have the entire cancel culture, and you have various other mob groups out there that will immediately suppress. And if you're not following along with their Borg collective way of thinking,
yeah, they'll fuck you. I know.
Yeah. So it's quite off. That's just a beaten narrative right there. We all know it. How do you defeat it?
Yeah.
That's see, the thing is, the world is a crazy fucking place.
Well, yeah.
When a fucking broke ass grunt such as myself has to get up here in front of a camera, who's fucking retired, I should be fishing and going after nice Latin tits, but I literally have to, yet again, fight a war of information. Now, I fought wars on the ground because I was a grunt, but now it never stopped. I have to go back. I have to fight the fucking war of information, and I'm doing it for people's minds out there because they've been basically lied to with propaganda for the past 20 goddamn years.
Here's the problem we suffer today. Conviction invites emotion. It's the death of oratory. Okay? Think of it. Just think of that simple phrase. It's, I forget where it's brought from or what classic literature, but yet it makes so much sense. Because how often do we see people who speak and then those that counterpoint who aren't disciplined enough to resist becoming over-emotional?
It's tough when you're dealing with idiots.
So, and how many times have had you to debate anyone, someone, female, otherwise, man, leftist, centrist?
Well, the thing is, when they try to debate me, first of all, I'm not a master debater. I'm divorced now. But...
And you have your anti-fap flap on your website.
Yes. And then, you know, whenever you they talk to me, I'll be like, okay, well, you know, strong and independent, WIC, welfare, child support, subsidized education and child care. The list goes on and on. Please tell me how independent you are. If you're truly independent, you'd say, fuck y'all, I make my own money and do my own thing.
Tell me how oppressed by the patriarchy you are.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so if it's just... We've just gotten so mixed and confused within our own within our conversations. I mean, even our lifestyles. I mean, we're pretty much. I'm not involved in anything, okay? Because I feel at this point in my life.
Well, you're a cyborg.
Yeah, I'm a cyborg.
You got to heal up.
Yeah, I got to heal up,
and you got to take it easy because you might wind up with another cyborg part.
Yeah. So, but that may be coming on the other side of my hip. But that's a different story. The point is that me and you get to a certain point in our lives where we're tired, okay? But yet we know there's a part of us that just can't stop fighting.
Well, it's like that poem, If.
If, yes. Yeah. So, you know, what you're doing here is, granted, using words and information, and then the point is, though, is that your words and the information that you produce, you've seen the counterpunches how often? To yours, because they try to debunk yours with an opinion piece when you simply say, there are the facts.
Oh, like Anna with an H at the beginning?
Yeah.
The fat fuck.
I'm not going to get into that. You know,
Now, we don't punch down, which is why I don't actually mention channel names and stuff like that, but it is hysterically funny when you have a morbidly obese Brimolo who thinks that she can call you a chud.
Well, I don't care.
It's kind of hysterical.
It doesn't bother me.
So I'm trying. I just try to avoid this whole mixture of words and conversations, debates, because I shrug my shoulders and I simply say, "You sound like an idiot."
Yeah.
And that was the last time I ever really had a sensible conversation with somebody, because what they were spewing was just utter nonsense that Biden's going to save America.
Yeah, listen, I have...
That was the end of the conversation.
I have broke ties with virtually every liberal friend or leftist friend I have or used to have.
Well, why would you bother? I mean, seriously.
I'm done.
All these same people who are saying, I'm going to vote for Biden, Biden's so great, orange man, bad, blah, blah, blah. All of them have been mysteriously silent since this demented kid-diddling fuck has been installed into office.
Yeah,
you don't hear them talking about all the great things he's done.
What great things has he done? This infrastructure.
Well,
I mean, if you're part of the Chinese Communist Party, you're going to have a list a mile long. But if you're living here, you're going to be a little bit silent.
I'm sure he's good at smelling his finger.
I'm sure he is.
Well,
thumb jack in his shit box.
Yeah.
Best thing I did was just take a back seat, listen to all this nonsense, and just shake my head, because in the end, what does it really matter to us?
Well,
I mean,
what matters
it
to
matters
us?
now.
When the two-way rifle range kicks off, I hope that doesn't happen. It's going to matter a lot.
There's a quote, actually, that was sent to me.
That's the unfortunate thing, but I didn't want to mention that.
Yes. Well, we talk about it here all the time.
Well, yeah. And
now, personally, I don't want that to happen. I hope we can actually withdraw from this craziness without any of that craziness happening. But, you know, I do pull off of a lot of examples from history.
Yeah.
I think we've gone too far. I think it's going to happen.
Absolutely. And guess what? It's knuckleheads like this that keep talking about it, and we're going to convince ourselves that it's going to come to a point in the division between left and right, between white, black, you know, Catholic, Muslim. I mean, there are so many platforms, and there's so many of these so-called metaphorical walls between, people who don't think like each other, or you know where I'm going with
I know,
this.
I got
your
you.
fans know where it goes, and your fans are like, I can really get with what Pop's saying.
The
And
United States, listen, if this country goes broke and can't pay its bills, and if shit goes off the hook, this country is going to look like a prison.
Yeah.
People are going to mob up by race. It's unfortunate but true.
Well, that's what they're trying to do with critical race
And they're
theory.
going to get it, and it's going to be ugly. I hope that doesn't happen, because listen,
they're dumb enough to think that the people in the big cities can win.
look,
I've already covered that.
I give the big cities 72 hours.
No, 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Then they'll start eating their own.
2 weeks.
That's exactly what would happen.
If
We decided to go full John Carpenter and just put leftoids in New York and California stand, they would declare victory and be like, oh, yay, now we can finally have our socialist utopia. Within 2 weeks, they would be eating each other and begging for help.
Yeah.
It didn't even take 72 hours for the Chaz Chop cocksockets to put up their little list of shit that they forgot to bring from home. Mommy, can you send ramen noodles and shoes?
Yeah. Well, so let's go back in time. Look at Berlin. East-west.
Hang on, I got to hit the piss real quick.
Yeah,
Keep
Of course
going.
you do.
Berlin, East-West. Well, the communists said, well, if you want your freedom, have your freedom. They walled in the West Side. They thought that eventually it would just die because they weren't getting any food, water. They're pretty much isolating just that small pocket. All right. Well, what do? We Berlin airlift everything in, and it's just another sign of America's might in logistics. I mean, that's what won World War II, was our logistical power, or part of the winning effort, other than the guys on the ground and the real angry grunts that just had enough of it. But, I mean, this is just, when people talk about revolution and they talk about left versus right, I'm not the greatest when it would come to that sort of debate, because I have family members or a family member who insists that socialism will be the new way, until I told them, well, I told them this. I said, okay.
Name one country where it's ever worked.
Yeah. Well, aside from that, I said, oh, if you really want to go there, okay, you're fairly successful. But everything in front of you, this dinner, brought to you by capitalism. Your education, brought to you by capitalism. And that vehicle that you drove in, that beautiful SUV, brought to you by capitalism. So I'll tell you what, write me a check for half your shit. I mean, if you want to go there, let's go there. Just write
if you
me a
want to
check
go
for
there,
half your
yeah.
shit.
Because obviously they're successful because of capitalism. So, all right, write everybody a check for half your shit. You can live on half, right? Because that's what you want.
So he became very impassioned and emotional, while you can just sit back and just simply say, okay, who here at this table, raise your hand if you've been to a fascist or socialist country. I'm the only one. Okay? And it's not what you think it is. So just people really have to get that illusion out of your mind. Well, they haven't really tried real socialism. What is real socialism? Define real socialism. Define
Well, they think it's
democratic
Marx.
socialism.
They look at it as Marx, but you know what? Marx didn't visit half of the shit that he supposedly was talking about. He was an armchair slacktivist, just like the fucking fucks in public education who are preaching his bullshit. He didn't actually go out and experience anything. He used other people's work to craft his so-called theories.
And guess what?
Marx was a piece of shit.
But yet he was a genius piece of shit, because he eventually convinced people to do what he wanted.
That doesn't take a genius. It just takes people to be stupid enough.
Well,
I got you. Let's, what do we have going on now? It's,
it is almost 10:30. We're going to get into some super chats here. Let me guys know if you still want to hear my review of Halloween Kills, because it is almost 10:30. We'll get into some super chats
actually,
here.
let's do this. You want to do the Halloween Kills? We can do it on Tuesday.
Whatever you want. By then, a lot of people have already seen it. It just came out today.
Oh, okay. All right. I got you.
All right, we'll do some super chats here. Yeah, let me know in the chat, guys, if you want to hear the Halloween Kills review. Shouldn't take me too long to read it. It's good stuff. It was a fun movie. Oh, what do we got here? Robert Anderson, LOL, allegedly, $5 donation.
Thank you.
Yes, I like it. 30 seconds out. Hillary likes it in the dirt star.
Do you know what 30 seconds out means? That means they have opened the jump door. There's a man standing in the door ready to go. Boom. And they give you the 30 seconds, which means pucker factor begins. You're going out that fucking door.
It usually was 30 seconds. Go.
I've had that a lot of times too. 30 seconds. Get the fuck out! You know, like,
oh! Because at that time, when we kick paratroopers out of the door, the navigator is actually flying the plane. He's telling the pilot where to go, giving him course correction. It's the the navigator's aircraft, which is rather scary because they're going off of.
They take
they're going off their panel, their nav panel. Okay, and they're going off of, do you see the identifier? What altitude are we making an approach to jump? What speed? Are we jumping ramp and door, or are we jumping out of the parachute door? So there are a lot of factors
variables
there. But in the old models, the C-130E model that I flew in had a navigator, so they were essentially flying the aircraft at the time of the jump. Okay, you go through our checklist procedures and. Okay, but you hear the navigator's doing a lot of chat over the radio. Now, that's the E model. The J model.
Hang on. We got to move on. Hang on.
All right. Well, I'm done there.
All right. I know you go on to your technical specs. Most people are like, what JHE? I don't see what 30 is.
Plane.
All right, let's do.
You rang.
Let's get through these super chats.
Sin Hawk with 2 donations back to back here. I'm not a grunt, and I can hear 2 different sounds of gunfire.
Yep.
Same. Hashtag Vegas strong. America.
God, you guys are demented.
Well, we had to commemorate the love that his ex-wife has.
Allegedly. Stop it.
Big, black.
Allegedly. Let's not go there. You're going to get me sued, man. Come on.
America the Free with a 55.60 donation. Thank you very much. Media is run by government. Shh.
No, it's not.
Well, the thing is, corporations run the government at this point, and corporations run the media. Therefore, boo.
Yep.
Circle jerk.
Yeah.
And nobody ends up satisfied.
Well, whatever.
Just saying. It's like when your wife suggests a threesome.
Allegedly.
Okay. That's why we made that video, 3-Way Survival Guide, dudes. Don't do it.
Yeah, you got to watch that one. That's comedy gold.
Unless you just really don't care.
It's comedy gold, man.
Z-Link Corrupted. You mind if I cut this section about the shooting to put in my channel to show to my friends and link you? Oh, absolutely not. You know what? In fact, if you want to email me, redonkulousblake@gmail.com, I will cut that section for you and send you the full quality file if you're interested. More than happy to help you out. 30 seconds out again. All of the alphabet boys aren't on our side anymore.
That's painfully true.
Yeah, they are. They are basically, at this point, they're an extension of the Chinese intelligence apparatus.
Correct.
The Brujo with $100 Australian.
Damn!
Holy cow.
Thank you so much, bro.
I'm not sure how much that computes, but very generous nonetheless. Also, I'd assume the hotel shooter wouldn't fire near the second shooter, and any victim of a ground shooter would likely have horizontal entry wounds. Should have been easy for authorities to dismiss, right, gentlemen? Spend these koala coins however you please.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Oh, and he sent me a Spocker emoji. If you don't know how that goes, it's the teaser, the pleaser, the shocker, the Spocker, the rocker, the showstopper, and my personal favorite, the divorce.
The rocker.
America the Free with a, I need to brace myself here, $200 donation. Wow.
Wow.
We're not worthy.
Wow. Thank you guys for your service, and God bless.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you, and thank you to you, good sir. Robert Anderson with a $5 donation. Mark's made his living off of his friend Engel. Probably smoking his pole.
Engelbert Humperdinck.
You got a damn intelligent fan base.
Kringlebert
I'm
Slappy.
telling you, these guys will just come up with these facts. They're like, really?
Yeah. Wow. All right, let's keep going. We got to get through this.
Jeanette B with a $9.99 donation. Long time no see. I hope you're well.
Thank you.
Yeah, we just got an article sent to you recently by Bettina Arndt. She's like, you guys got to cover this. Okay. So we'll probably have to cover it in the next stream.
All right.
It's some pretty gnarly shit. I was going through to grab your lair this morning so I could edit it, and I look and I saw Bettina's name. I was like, oh, I clicked on it, and I was like, oh, I got to forward this shit to myself. This is messed up.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, 1985 with a $49.99 donation. Thank you so much, sir. Gents, keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Jumping over to Streamlabs here. And we got one from Jackal the Emperor. Let's be honest. They just used the same tactics in the movie Jack Reacher. Lay waste to your intended target and blame it on someone who was totally going off the rail for their own reasons as the scapegoat for your deliberate actions.
Yep. That's what we call a patsy.
Yes. And the Biden administration, as things start to really unravel for them, is going to be full of them. Kiro Ninja 00. Hey, Pop, do you think Benghazi happened because the ambassador had dirt on the Clintons and the Obamas? That is why they were dragging their feet on the rescue and the denial of extra security months before.
You know, I have no idea. One of the ways you can explain, I don't know, a conspiracy is either stupidity or ineptitude.
That's pretty much it. But, hang on. No, we already saw her.
Oh, yeah. Okay, next one. Yeah.
You know, with something like the recent Afghanistan debacle, you can't fuck up something that bad by accident.
No, especially when they've had 20 years of reports going up to
just wait and see. We're gonna think that Afghanistan was a complete just goat fuck. We're not done with this administration yet.
Oh God,
You're
we're not even a year in.
We got fucking 3.5 years to go.
Oh,
yeah,
fuck.
and then it's gonna be, if Biden's found inept, which he is, it's going to be a Kamala administration.
No, you know, I can't.
I don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah, all right, you're going to get spun up even worse. I won't be able to sleep.
That's how you get Molotov cocktails on Pennsylvania Avenue. Yeah. Ballistic Zero, I got a theory to pass by my fellow grunts. Could the whole AF debacle be a cover to give the military-industrial complex a way to patch the faults of the so-called fuck-up? I mean, the government going to be like, the Afghanis have all our weapon tech now. We need to go Uber X-Gen Future Combat Advanced Flickin' Self-Ruck Marching Vending Machines with lasers on their freaking foreheads.
Listen, the military-industrial complex it's a fucking big-ass machine that soaks up trillions of dollars, and we don't even know where all that money goes.
No.
So anything is possible.
Yeah. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Space Ghost is
like,
on.
How can so much money go missing?
Yeah.
The day before 9/11.
Yeah, I know.
It's just like Independence Day, man.
We'll cover that. We'll cover that in another.
Yeah, you'll eventually hit on that.
Yeah. All right. So apparently the response for a Halloween Kills review was overwhelmingly positive. So I'm going to try to get through this for you guys as fast as I can. And while I'm doing it, I'll throw on the trailers here in silence so you guys have something to look at.
Uh-huh.
I saw Halloween for the first time when I was 6 because my mom was really fucking weird and for some reason thought that a movie that had tits, knife stabbings, blood, and dudes getting, like pierced through their sternum and stuck to closet doors was rated G.
Wow.
She's an interesting woman. But it was a defining cultural landmark in my life as a film lover and as a filmmaker. I grew up identifying Michael Myers with the boogeyman. I loved all the Donald Pleasance monologues and cheering on Jamie Lee Curtis and then later on Danielle Harris, who was named after Jamie Lee Curtis. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. My first Halloween experience in a theater was in 1998, and that was after Dimension Films picked up the rights to the series and then decided to look up the word reboot in the dictionary. And after that, we were all fucked. And I was there in 2007 when Rob Zombie turned what essentially is a modern grim fairy tale about arbitrary evil into a haphazard origin story about traumatized rednecks who smoke a whole carton of fucks a day. And I was there in 2018 when we finally got a sequel that was worthy of comparison to the original movie. There's been ups and there's been downs, and at this point there's been more alternate timelines than Back to the Future fan fiction. For the sake of continuity, we're going to call Halloween Kills the newest entry in the Three Finger trilogy, or the Three Finger timeline. So if you've seen the last one, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Laurie fucking shot his fingers off, and it was glorious. Now, This begins with John Carpenter's Halloween, continues with the 2018 sequel to Halloween, which is also called Halloween. Don't get me started on that fucking nonsense. And now it comes back into theaters, and apparently they're doing the whole Peacock streaming thing where you can just stream it right to your house if you don't want to go out there, if you believe in the coof. And this is, without a doubt, the most nihilistic entry in this franchise's entire history. This is a sequel that justifies its existence from its opening credits with nonstop violence and gore, and yet it somehow manages to coalesce as a well-made piece of genre fare that somehow never feels cheap and unnecessary. And it might not sound like high praise, but for a series that has seen the likes of Halloween Erection, it's technically called Halloween Resurrection, but fuck that movie, it might as well be a Best Picture Oscar. That movie's that bad. Halloween Kills picks up immediately where the 2018 film leaves off, and this is the part that really blew my mind, it takes us back in time to 1978 and shows us what happened after Dr. Loomis shot his former psychiatric patient 6 times in the chest. 70s psychiatry. The script is by the director David Gordon Green, Danny fucking McBride from Eastbound and Down, and a guy named Scott Teems. And it bounces between these nights that are 40 years apart, and it kind of progresses them along parallel lines. And it uses these flashbacks with phenomenal CG, by the way, to build satisfying character arcs out of elements that were only hinted at in the last one. If you're like me, you can kind of tell when dialogue sequences have been cut incredibly short because things don't really seem to fit together. That happened a lot in the last one. Will Patton, Sheriff Hawkins, he's still alive, becomes a flesh and blood three-dimensional man with some long sutured wounds that are leaking some fresh regret. Even throwaway moments and characters from the earlier films have payoffs. And some featured extras who would just walk through and maybe have a line or two, they show up with full-blown supporting roles. It's almost like they decided to create a cinematic universe. If you remember Lonnie Elam, you know, the boy who was too chicken to step into the Myers house in the first movie, and Sam Loomis is like, "Hey, Lonnie, get your ass away from there." He has a full-blown supporting role. The doctor-nurse couple who just happened to be leaving their house when Michael starts his killing spree in the last one, they also have a full-blown supporting role. The last movie had a smaller, more focused narrative on Laurie Strode, who at this point has been killed and resurrected more times than Michael in this fucking series. Her daughter Karen, played by Judy Greer, who voices Cheryl on Archer. Nice tits, by the way. And granddaughter Allie, played by Andy Matichak, also nice tits. Halloween Kills is much more of an ensemble piece this time, and that's for better, and it's kind of for worse. As Laurie undergoes the surgeon's knife at Haddonfield Memorial, other survivors of his first murder spree get wind of his return, and they manage to rally an entire town of frightened sheeple into a frenzy over something most of them don't even remember or even understand. All the best horror films, like George Romero's zombie series, they have elements of social commentary. And this definitely has echoes of Halloween 4's Hick Militia, if you remember that. It's used to much greater effect here, though. Given that Halloween Kills was delayed for a full year by the scamdemic and its subsequent politicization, it's hard not to see this as a cautionary tale of how weaponized fear can turn even well-intentioned innocence into a horde of fucking monsters capable of sadistic and terrible shit. All for the greater good, of course. These scenes go on for too long, and they're a little too on the nose, but their importance is pretty huge. One of the strengths and weaknesses of Halloween 2018, though, was its inability, to escape from the shadow of the original movie to the point where a lot of scenes and sight gags were just constructed on this foundation of role reversal, which entirely banked on the original movie for its effect. So if you don't know it backwards and forwards like I do, you weren't going to get it. In that respect, Halloween Kills has evolved, beginning with the opening prologue, which is just the CG. Like, they resurrect Donald Pleasance for this 1978 scene, and it is eerily fucking convincing. It is obvious that they have finally decided to approach this new movie with a lot more confidence in doing their own thing. While the screenplay does borrow from some of the sequels for its themes, visuals, and in-jokes, by the way, make sure you tune in for the big giveaway at 9 in your silver shamrock masks.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, fuck that.
That was
Green's handling of the material feels a lot more like his tongue is just halfway in his cheek this time. The humor is definitely lands because when you got Danny McBride co-writing the script, you're going to have some good jokes. But this is a movie that really lives up to its name. The body count in the first 10 minutes of this movie dwarfs Halloween 1 and 2. Not even kidding. It's beautifully shot. The practical makeup by Christopher Nelson is fantastic. It's saturated with atmospheric dread, and John Carpenter, the director of the original, does the musical score again. Awesome. His collaborators have found this balance of maintaining that singularity of his work, but they're still updating it for a new generation with new technology. It's really nice. And the Myers house itself makes its first appearance for the first time since 1981. I'm not sure if it's all CG or set design or both, but the effect is convincing and very haunting at times. Praise aside, there's some clunky shit. One in particular reeks of rushed exposition and cheap beer. Early in the film, Tommy Doyle, who's played this time by the nerd from The Breakfast Club, Anthony Michael Hall, of all people, retells the story of Michael Myers to a room full of drunken assholes just so he can reintroduce the Real Housewives of Hollywood, Kyle Richards, who played the little girl Lindsay in the original movie, she's back, and the nurse who Michael terrorized in the car with Dr. Loomis, she's also back, reprising their roles from the original. And given that this is the 12th movie in this 43-year-old franchise, if you're jumping on at this point for your starting pistol, you're fucked up. So, I mean, it's great to see these actors playing their parts again and in a movie that actually makes you care about what happens to them, but please figure out a way to introduce them without having scenes like this. Now, is it as bad as every single Friday the 13th movie recounting Jason's legend to people who probably know friends who got skewered and gutted like fish? No, it's not as bad as that. Anthony Michael Hall does sell the shit out of it. He tries to anyway. And the screenplay manages to sell a lot of stuff that I was worried about because I've watched all these movies and know them like the back of my hand. For example, in the last movie, he was caged in a basement in a house that was burning to the fucking ground. And when I went into this, I was like, okay, you need to do two things. You need to stop with the role reversal shit, and you need to provide me with a logical explanation how he could survive this. Thankfully, they did both. There is a cold, calculated logic to how he survived that inferno. And upon reveal, like in the audience, I'm looking around, there were people like, oh, okay. Now, if you remember Halloween Resurrection from 20 years ago, if you can force yourself to remember it, oh my gosh. Stream got nuked. What happened?
What stream?
I don't know. Oh, okay. All right. Apparently I have to turn that off. Fuck.
What happened?
And apparently they decided to nuke the stream because of the copyrighted video, but it was a trailer, so I figured it wasn't going to be a problem. All right. It should go back. I moved it back. I apologize for that, everybody. It should come back now. All right. Thank you, Jimmy, for letting me know that. Fuck's sakes. If you saw Halloween Resurrection 20 years ago, the excuse that they gave for Michael surviving his fucking head being chopped off was that, well, he crushed a paramedic's windpipe and then swapped masks and clothes with him and then, like, slunk off into the weeds or some shit. I'm like, what?
No.
It doesn't make any... Okay,
the guy was like 7 feet tall, wasn't he?
Apparently just putting his mask on gives him superhuman strength and whatever.
Yeah, I got you.
Fuck off. Doesn't make any sense. I remember being in the theater, people were yelling fuck you at the screen. It was that bad.
Damn.
So that's why that moment for me especially was so important. On the flip side, there are some typical slasher movie problems, like characters being idiots, putting themselves in peril for no reason whatsoever, getting themselves gutted like fish, when all they'd have to do is make one phone call and the cavalry would be there. With that in mind, it gives me great pleasure to let you know that really doesn't matter because the ending is so fucking good. And it actually approaches that with a nice sort of logic. Or perhaps ending isn't the right word.
So somebody actually put some real thought into this movie.
Yes. It leaves you hanging with a gut punch of nihilism that sticks in your crawl to the point where when I wrote this review, I was still feeling very unsettled by it. It's a true horror film. And I think it's the first time that I can actually say that about any movie in this series. Now, there's an argument that could be made for Halloween 3. I'm like, whatever. But the more I reflect on it, the less that I'm bothered by its flaws and the more that I'm impressed by the fact that after the 2018 movie played it so safe, they actually took some risks. Mm-hmm. And we all know Halloween Ends will be coming out next year, so it's not spoiling anything to say that evil does not die tonight. It lives on in the dark, and it's waiting for you. Big thumbs up. Go and see the movie this weekend. But if you have ladies with you who can't handle gore, just cut a hole in the bucket of popcorn, stick your penis in there, and just wait for their head to go down.
Nice.
It's good stuff.
Nice. Are we done? Is everything good?
Yep. Yes, I do. People are like, oh my God, do you know what they did to the stream? Yes, I did. I apologize for that. Normally, trailers don't get nuked by copyright. So I apologize for that. Mm-hmm. For some reason, though, YouTube decided to fuck with us tonight. Not shocked.
They're always on our ass.
But it's all on new tech, and I will make sure that the full version of this stream with all this stuff is put on the archive channel. So my apologies. I just wanted to give you something else to look at besides my ugly mug.
All right. Are we good? Safety briefing?
A safety briefing.
All right, everybody, don't drink and drive, don't drink and swim. If you have to fight, don't go to the ground because that's when you get stomped out. If you have to pull out your gun, shoot to kill, not to wound because wounding people is gay and has a lot of paperwork and consequences. And if you're going to drink and bang, wear a condom, take the condom with you or flush it down the toilet and watch it go down because sperm jacking is a thing and paying child support for a kid that you weren't planning on for the rest of your life or up until the kid's 21, depending upon the state you're in, is a bummer.
Bummer. How about you, good sir? Any words of wisdom?
No, I don't have anything necessarily to top that.
I was quite famous.
Other than don't go swimming in your cars.
Yeah.
How about this for YouTube for deciding to cut off our stream for alleged copyright violations, despite the fact this was a movie review?
F you and all your motherfucking friends, nigga. Give a fuck if y'all in kindergarten. I'll whoop y'all motherfucking ass. That's why Santa Claus ain't real. That's why I f your mama. I'll f up all your kids. I don't care, goddammit. Prove it to me. Prove it to me. That's why you ain't going to Disney World. F you and your friends. F all y'all.
I just don't know the depth of it. That's all.
And it's getting worse all the time.
Are we going to get a strike for that?
We shouldn't. But it's going to go unlisted after this and go archived to the backup channel. I will contest any copyright problems and say, like, hey, this is fair use copyright because it's a movie review. If you don't like it, suck a dick.
All right.
It's like, do they have like a bunch of just teenagers working for YouTube?
They're actually not even teenagers. They're people from other countries.
Yeah. Wow. And they watch like 30 seconds of a video and decide whether or not it's actually monetizable.
Yeah. Gotcha.
All right. We'll see you guys Tuesday back here. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Take it easy.